man on top. Wow, what a save. Oh, he's another one!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Octane Online Racing Sprint Series here. Round 4 at Spain, or Spain, whatever you want to call it. Barcelona, Catalonia, the worst circuit in the world, hands down. Don't even at me. I am... You know what? I will say this, though, right? I may moan and groan about this track and how much it sucks. I've actually had my best result in the entirety of OOR here. So I can't complain. You know who I am, and joining me, as usual, is the lad himself. It's Marcon Badger John. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I've just added you in the chat just because you're wrong.
You're wrong. Mama's right, you're wrong.
It's a great track.
Nope.
Great track.
Nope.
Absolutely great track.
Nope. You're wrong. You're just wrong. There's two major reasons as to why you're wrong. We call them the chicanes. Excuse me, the chicanes. I mean,
a real driver would just be able to, cope with that.
The issue's not coping it, it's that they just the most displeasurable thing in the world. Like the final chicane, the lead into that final chicane is awful. In fact, what we're gonna do, before I go any further,
I will grant you the final sector was better before they added the chicanes, when it was nice and swooping and fast and brilliant. I agree. But
let's
still,
look here. Look at this. You can't see this because I'm not streaming to you on Discord.
I'll see it in about 15 seconds.
Well, let me quickly stream it to you in the Discord as well. Being a nice guy that I am, you're welcome.
You know.
When you know. Right. This here, okay? The fact that it goes downhill is like a camber, right? Oh. My drone skills are not the best. You see how it's like cambered slightly to the left?
Yes, I am aware, and as I say, I agree with you in principle on the that they're not great in terms of this chicane. However, the rest of the track is good. It's challenging. It's,
nope.
It is.
It's this other chicane here.
Oh, you're just moany.
No, this one sucks so much.
Yes, I kind of knew that you were going to come here to turn 7 and 8. You just need to get good, realistically.
Well, I mean, I didn't have an issue with it. I just don't like it. Just look at it. It's the fact that, right, you can't touch the green stuff, despite the fact that it lets you think you can touch the green stuff. You can touch the green stuff on the right-hand side, but they put this weird curb in the middle, which it doesn't really affect you, apart from the fact that it just scares the poo-poo out of you. But on top of that, it's this point here, as you're coming through this corner, your back end just constantly wants to set you out. Always wants to kill you.
I mean, Robbins is right. It's what separates the men from the boys.
I guess I'm a boy then, aren't I?
Yep.
I will take that, and I'm fine with that. Alright? So, we are commentary time, and it is quality time. Let's have a look at the times then. So first lap, the fastest lap we've got so far is 1:43.479, which is done by Brophy in the Porsche. Now I have some news for you here, Badger. You may not have already known this. In fact, you're almost certainly not going to know this. The best car on this track by far, and I don't mean a smidgen, by a huge way, is the McLaren. The McLaren is insanely OP here.
I did already know that because I heard you talking about it before. However, to counter that, what I want to say is we saw how good and how fast Brophy is. Yep. We know that. He's put it on provisional pole right now. It wasn't actually him, however, that was topping the timesheets in the practice. It was another Porsche of Chris Vining. Ooh. So that's two Porsches that were in the top two on the practice. So the McLaren might be, OP, but you've still got to get it together. So
yeah, 100%.
It's still to play for, and you can see Pierce, despite having the OP P-Wagon, he's still on P2 behind Brophy. And now kind of a long way behind Brophy, as Brophy just sets a new fastest lap.
43.2. So Pierce was up a couple of tenths up until he got to that point in the chicane, which is, you know, the worst part of the track, second to worst part of the track. But he did, yeah, lose it. And that's the thing when it comes to this circuit, is it leads you into a false sense of confidence, right? You come into it, you think things are going to be great, and then you just get a little bit too carried away. And the tires on this track in particular will melt so bad, and that honestly is enough for me to just be crying the whole way home. Let's give it a couple of shout outs to some people in the chat. So hello Robbins, hello Grant, hello Robert Jacks, Ike Guy, Bad Ducky, Jerome, Frank, Lucid. How are you all doing, people? It's good to see you.
I don't think you've ever came into Spain and thought it's going to go all right, so I already don't believe what you just said.
No. Do you know what's really annoying? Do you want to know something really, really, really annoying? So every race so far this season, I've put a decent amount of time into, right, to practice, right? I've either, you know, spent ages working on a setup, and then gone ahead and gone to like quali and started smashing out some quali times, and then going to fuel, full fuel runs and practicing on 100 milliliter fuels and just seeing what the car feels like and where I can improve, studying some hot lap videos, etc. Right? And my best result has been I think a P12. I think I may have got a P10 at some point. I don't remember. This race, I literally said, "Fuck this race!" Right? I hate this track. I was already grumpy when I found out it was Barcelona. I was so upset, and then I went, "I'm going to just do a little bit of practice, just get a couple of laps in, get the setup sorted, and then that's it. I'm not doing any more." In total practice time, I did 10 laps. Right? No more. That includes doing the setup. Right? Best result I've had all season. Couldn't believe it.
What
Furious.
does that tell you?
Don't practice?
Yep. Go back to your old ways. Don't practice.
Forget practice. Problem is you can't with this game. You have to like work on the setup a little bit, because it will just melt you apart if you don't have like a setup you're comfortable with. Especially the tracks like Spain or Monza or something like that.
Just having a look through to see who is improving. Muller's gaining quite a bit of time on this lap. He looks like he might be putting himself up there, but he's just dropping back a little bit right now. Who else we got? Schultz. He's improving. Yeah.
Appleton's half a second up as well, 0.6 of now, which will put him pretty much P2 if he can keep this. I was going to keep with Muller a second because he's going through.
There we go, P2.
Yep, easy slaps. Look at that.
And
Nathan Pierce, again, same situation. Coming into the chicane, he was a couple of tenths up, and now he's back into 0 seconds. He's not gaining anything as it stands. But, I mean, let's have a look at the sector times, if I can. Oh, I can't. That's something I'm going to show you. Oh, no, it will. So 2 tenths off in sector 1, 3 tenths off in sector 2, and then matching in sector 3. So he is still needing to find... Oh, that would make sense. It means he's half a second away, apparently.
well, he's nearly 4 tenths off, but yeah, that's...
Maths don't work out. That's just not right. Hi guy says, Raggy, did you see O'Hara do a 41.9? I did. I was in his split. He's crazy. He's insane. That guy is not human. And then he would lapped me as well whilst I was... When I did a undercut, and he lapped me. I was well upset.
To be fair, he hadn't been into the pits yet.
No, I know, but I still got lapped by him. I was well upset.
Yeah.
Bakeda with a 42.1, yeah. Bakeda's phenomenally quick. It's actually insane. Wagner P1, 2, and 3, don't at me. Roger that. Frank Lucid, no practice and planned for half the cars ahead, dying on lap 1. Yeah, that also works. Good morning, good evening, Alex. Hope you're well, mate. Well, to be fair, regular split was horrendous with penalties and sadness this round. So much red everywhere. I know.
Yes.
I did capitalize on a fair few of those, but I mean,
you also got caught out.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah. Well, that hairpin.
Yes.
I literally came into the hairpin and there was a car park. I literally was boxed in. I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it was a good start, and then you kind of got completely, messed up at turn 10, and then made your way back through the field when everyone else just kept smashing into each other.
Yeah, it was alright, wasn't it? That Merc that sent it into the McLaren.
Oh, yes.
I was just, easy slaps to that. Yeah. Hey, Verti, how you doing? Alright, chaps. Issue last week was tyres and setup. Just glanced at the conditions when the server jumped to race and rushed for a whiz. Didn't bother to check once I came back like a fool. Well, hopefully you don't have the same issues this week. I assume you're in the next split because I don't see your name here, which makes me think you are in split 2, split red. I made some really good overtakes in the race earlier today. Like the outside line through...
yeah.
Was it turn 4? The left-hander? This turn here that Brophy's in.
Yeah.
I did 2 Bentleys through here. Outside line. I couldn't believe it. It was clean.
Yeah, that's turn 5, I think, actually.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, turn 5.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Only 1-2 cars started the whole car park as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... What the f... Where's he going? Brophy? I got caught out there. Brophy decided he wants to go for a trek out on the runoff.
For me, it looks like he just stopped on the middle of the track.
Yeah, he did, but he stopped in the runoff area. I was actually about to mention this to you. Were you around in when I don't think we were commentating together. I think I was commentating with somebody else. When I believe it was Yolta died in turn 9, coming out of turn 9, and slammed into the inside wall on that little straight, causing a massive safety car in the F1 game, 2018 or 19, I think it was.
Wait, like as in like.
You know,
I can't remember, to be honest. I don't think I was. I don't think I.
It must have been season 1 or 2 then.
I don't think I can't remember it, but you know we've seen a few people die into that. I'm pretty sure we've seen Brownie.
Oh, without doubt.
Into that wall as well. So.
Seen plenty of people die there.
Yeah.
This one in particular stood out to me because it was chaotic. So quality timer has run to 0. Brophy is your pole sitter. Looking at the delta for Pierce, he's the only person who has a chance to beat him. And, well,
he's just invalidated. Yep.
So Brophy's got pole then. Pierce P2, Levchenko P3. Interesting that I said earlier. McLaren is the most OP car here. 2 Porsches in the top 5, only 2 McLarens in the top 5, but it's the Porsche's got P1 and 4, and McLaren with 2 and 5. Granted, there are a bunch of other McLarens really close together. And I think realistically, I think we're going to be seeing a safety car.
Yeah, there's a. It seems like the McLaren game right now. There's like half the field look like they're in McLarens.
Yeah. Who's out on the lap?
If we're going by you know, the AP blitz, a safety car almost definitely.
Yeah, without a doubt. That was interesting to say the least. Is this Piotr Gaskin? Oh no, I remember Gaskin out. Yep, going through the final corner. No improvement to Delta, half a second down. Also just ran off wide. That is an invalidation. So P22 for them. Okay. Let's catch up on the chat. Hello, Lee Thorpe. How you doing? It's good to see you. Porsche's good round here. Just full of sadness on the straight in the race. However, you say that, right? But I was chasing... Who was I chasing? Van Vliet, I think his name was.
Yes, it was.
That guy was a cruise missile on the straight. I have no idea where he was finding that straight line pace and still keeping it together throughout the rest of the lap. But he was honestly so fast in a straight line. I was in his toe and I wasn't really gaining on him at all. So either he just got a phenomenal exit out of the final corner or he really set the car up quite well because it really worked for him. Can I also point out, what is this? How am I supposed to... Look at this. I can't see.
But you know that Catalonia is your home.
Hang on, if I keep going. There we go, that's it. Catalonia is your home. If I go blank. Oh, you know.
You know.
When you know, you know.
Oh, you know.
6 out of 11 McLaren.
You can see it as well if you hit F3 and go to like the back camera angle. It's also at the front of the basically right next to the lights. Yeah, like so you're looking from behind if you hit F3.
Giggity.
You see the same Catalonia as your home and things. It's just
where?
Literally at the top of your screen, mate.
I mean, that is your home bit.
Well, you could see the full thing if you weren't at one of the drivers at the back of the grid.
Oh.
Maybe it's just because you're on massive widescreen. You are the widest boy.
From here, it looks crazy wide.
Yeah, you have the big boy. Hey, you've got a big chungus of a monitor.
I really do. All right. Let's get ready to rumble then. 10 seconds until the formation lap gets started. Are we going to see a safety car lap 1?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're pretty easy, isn't it, really?
There's not even a question in my mind. It's happening.
Oh! Also to mention to you, we have got rid of the custom liveries that everyone was using. Sorry, let me rephrase it. The custom liveries that the drivers have chosen themselves using the in-game car editor are still there, but the OOR overlay that was on top of them has been removed, which means we are now able to do the replays again. So, shouldn't have any issues with load times, shouldn't have any issues with any of that sort of stuff. So we will get to see more of the action, so you guys will not be missing out. Which is good, positive. I mean, the thing is, it's a shame because I really like the custom liveries. They were really, really clean to look at. But I think they made the right call by removing them. It means we get to see the action all over again for people who've died and would have to make it up and wonder what happened.
I thought you were saying it's a shame because you really like listening to me describe an event. You know, now you won't get that joy.
Well, I mean, you could just do all of the what do you call it, right? You could just do all of them.
Yeah.
Because whenever I do replay, you just talk about it.
I'll give you like my artist's representation of what happened, and then you can watch the replay and see what actually happened.
I'm calling you Steven Spielberg. Hey JC, how you doing, mate? It's good to see you. With the $5 Australian. So speaking of paid advertising, become an OOR Patreon for €4 a month. There you go. All of the money does severely help these guys. Obviously, Mullock puts his heart and soul into this. So if you... Mullock specifically, should I say, puts his heart and soul into this. Obviously, everybody gets involved and really gives it their best, but... You know, this
the rest
guy
of us just make blood
it.
sacrifices.
Yeah, pretty much. We made a pact when we first joined. We just, cut our hand up and I went, yeah, take it.
Oh, you've been using your hand. I sacrificed a goat earlier, man.
Oh, yikes.
I'm not scarring my beautiful
Full
skin.
Viking. It's weird that you used to do that. Have you actually seen the Vikings TV series?
I am like halfway through season 4 or something, and I haven't finished it because I find myself with life too busy for things all the time. I'm like halfway through like so many series. Like I'm halfway through watching Cobra Kai as well, and that was amazing. And I want to finish it. I just
I can't
never
watch
get
Cobra Kai.
Why?
Because if it is what I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know if it's definitely what I think it is. But if it is what I think it is, then
like Karate Kids, like TV show.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else then, like a Daft thing. Anyway, Barcelona time, round 4 then. So we have the 1 hour race. They do have to pit stop. They do have to change the tyres. And we will hopefully see some crazy overtake action. Let's get in Helicam. We are green. Look at the start. Ooh. All the way down the home straight. Lots of weaving, lots of wobbling. There was a flash there from, I think, Chris Vining into the back of the McLaren of Nathan Pierce. A little bit of touching as well. That is another McLaren that I think it's now Appleton, actually. He's just finding his way through the field. Chris Vining going for a full send down the inside. He's too wide. Now he's ahead of Levchenko. I think he might actually just clip that back. No, he won't. Levchenko keeping P3 because of the run through turn 3 being quite long. He should be able to get it back.
And Yarmilo, they've had to come together.
Oh, yeah. And he's coming back on just about cleanly. Have we had any issues down the back? We're seeing a lot of cars jostling for position. Bit of a send from the Audi here. That is Wagner, I think. Almost going into the side.
Right at the back.
Yeah.
I don't think he qualified there, did he?
I don't think he did.
So he might have had an issue.
I'm looking, yeah, he's about mid-pack here, let's see. Gone through turn 2 already, coming in towards turn 3. Turning, still turning, everything's fine. Back end gone. Back end went on its own. Not had any contact with anybody.
Yeah, he kept
bit of an issue.
Pretty clean, to be fair. But yeah, going back to Pierce and Vining, what happened was Pierce actually overtook Brophy before the green. So he ended up slowing down onto the brakes as the green went. And so Vining ended up accelerating and went right into the back of him.
Look at this little car park battle we're going on here. We've got McLaren on McLaren, we've got McLaren on Nissan GTR. McLaren, that was almost, I think, Mullard getting off into the track there. Is Ogden as well, who's ahead. So he's working his way slowly further and further forwards. Ooh, that was very nearly shot into the back of... Oh, that's a crash. I think that's blues.
There's blues.
Yeah. I think we can quickly go 10 seconds back and we can see exactly what happens. So it looks like the Aston, yeah, just missed his brake marker and then boop.
Blues has just done an incredibly weird rejoin there. He actually just bolts and joins in, just going full pelt as the rest are coming through the chicane. He might have to give a few positions back.
Did he gain anything though? I don't think he gained, right?
I think he might have given the positions back now that he took over as he was overtaking him at the chicane, but I'm not 100% sure. That's something we'll leave to the stewards, because...
Oh, there's more going on.
Yeah. Mesh.
Can't see it. Yeah, he's off. Let's quickly have a quick look at what happened. So coming into it, bit of a touch, and he's off, yeah. So we're side by side, bit of a kiss, off he went. See you later. Ruffy's still going strong up there in race lead. Here's the Pierce chasing him down in P2. The gap is about 6/10, so he'll still be definitely getting the tow. But once that extends past the 6/10, that's whether the tow is no longer... Sorry, 7/10 is where the tow no longer is effective. Also, no safety car. EU showing how it's meant to be done.
Is that favouritism I hear?
Yes. I drive in AP. I watch EU.
It's true. That automatically lowers the standard in AP.
Okay. I will take that. That's fine. Franchenko having a side-by-side here now with Jaromilo, who's going to just send it down the inside. Bit of a run for Franchenko, but Jaromilo should get the benefit and does. Because that left-hander is just so sharp, and you need to ride the inside curve if you want to carry momentum, which is exactly what Jaromilo was able to do. And that is now him ahead. So, Ogden and Mullet are still going at it. It looks like Ogden's going to be holding on for a little bit longer at least. But Cooperis is pulling away quite nicely.
Yep, and the two at the front have just checked out. This seems like a Max and Lewis sort of deal again. It's two just disappearing off in the distance, showing so much extra pace.
Who is Perez though?
Now we're talking.
I guess we're saying Levchenko, but he's proven he's up there with them sometimes.
I mean, technically we would probably be saying Vinen is Perez, because, you know, Porsche, but...
And a Chav.
And Appleton could be Bottas.
Oh. Yeah, stay back there, you.
Well, to be fair, probably if we were being true to life, Jarmilo would be Bottas.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Who would you give the torpedo award to?
Who would I give what to?
The torpedo. Yeah.
Oh. Been in this or in a real F1?
In this.
Oh.
I actually don't know, because I don't think anybody's ever done any like crazy sends. I don't think I've seen anybody like go for anything mental.
I don't think so. I think not in this split anyway.
No.
No, I don't think anyone in the split's been particularly dive bombing aggressive.
No.
I think these are all good boys.
We've actually had two people into the pits that have now served their mandatory pit stop, so they don't have to box again. Let's have a quick look at their car though, see how they're looking. So, Michael's
is lagging out.
Crazy,
yeah, so that might have been why he had issues at the start. But yeah, he's not looking good. I did want to keep an eye on it in case it was just me, but it is looking
it's definitely not
problematic. Yeah.
We've got Smesh, who you saw have a contact earlier with one of the McLarens, I think was Jaromilo, has fallen down to P22. We'll have a hard time now to try and close up any gaps, maybe take a couple of places back, but that Beamer as well is rapid in a straight line. The Ferrari's no slouch either, it's just that the Beamer is just really, really good. So the Ferrari needs to try and make it work in the corners, ideally. We're talking sort of Sector 3 territory here, which is where the Beamer... Sorry, Sector 3, Turn 3, which is where the Beamer will not quite perform as well as it needs to in order to defend. Chris Vining on Levchenko, getting very close to the back of that Ferrari, but has not yet caught that position. A bit of a weave there. Is he going to send it, or is he just weaving for Bants?
Levchenko's just, showing a great defensive drive yet again. It's very clear watching this fight that Chris is the faster of the two, but Levchenko is just doing what he does best.
Yeah. Well, if you remember last season in the GTR, he was, we literally gave him so much praise for how well he was able to hold everyone back, and no one was able to fight. Speaking of fighting, Lutzmej and Viniecki again going at it. Look at this is looking more favoured now to Smash as long as he can carry that momentum out, which he doesn't quite do. Does have a fair bit of a wobble. He's lost all of that momentum coming through turn 9. Although that is very deep for Viniecki. Smash might be able to claim that. Is he going to get alongside him in time? Yep, the rejoin's clean. I think he's fully ahead. Yeah, he is easily ahead now. That's one down, plenty to go.
Yep. I'm just having a look through the rest. There's a decent pack kind of from P7 down to P13. Little bit of a gap from Schultz to Mullard, but this is looking like it could get nice, hot and heavy battle. So we'll need to keep an eye on this. Yarmilo is currently in a pretty decent fight there with Blues, so we'll see who comes out on top here, but Yarmilo is looking like he is all over the back of him.
Oh, mistake here from Blues. Yarmilo.
Yep. Oh.
Hey, he's got him.
Yep.
Only one slight mistake from Blues and Yarmilo was through, like you were saying. So good to see.
We only need an invite, and then we'll go to the party.
Yeah. I haven't been to a party in ages.
Well, to be fair, I don't think most people have.
I don't know
If you've been to a party in the last 2 years, you're one of the people that are the problem.
Don't you start with this tinfoil hat business, alright? None of that. You next you'll be telling me that the 5G masks are caused by COVID as well. Alright, Levchenko though, still...
Wait, the 5G masks are caused by... No, the 5G masks are caused by COVID. So COVID created 5G masks.
Metal.
Cool.
Metal came out of COVID.
Right. Just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Yeah, pretty much. You don't need them anymore now.
So basically what we're saying is COVID's good for technology.
Well, depends what your opinion is on 5G.
I mean, you always want to up your G's, mate.
Anyway, Francesco is under attack from Boschert. I've seen a lot of Porsches attacking McLarens in this race, and I'm not happy about it. All right.
Yeah.
I think the Porsche is quite similar to the McLaren in so many ways. I always find that they're the car that I battle with more than anything in any league race. I don't know if it's just that there's more of them or if it's something else, but the car I hate battling with more than anything is the Bentley. That thing is such a tank, and it's so fast out of corners, as in on acceleration. I really, that's the one car I hate getting alongside.
Yeah, and Melissa has I've been having a wee chat, and she was telling us that not only does it have just a beautiful sound, but she might be driving a real one soon for her birthday.
I heard that.
So yeah, we might have some footage for that at one point.
And then
she can get. She's rubbing it in, basically being like, haha, Botley's amazing. Like, I take it those were roughly the words.
No, she messaged me saying, I get to drive this, and I went, ew. She was not happy. I honestly, I mean this with all sincerity, I hate the look of the Bentley. I think it's so disgusting to look at. I mean, look at Catan's and tell me that in your mind that's a beautiful looking machine.
It's a beautiful looking machine, but only because of the livery. That livery it's delightful.
I refuse to accept it, and for that basis alone, I won't. Oh, Viniecki and Wagner are going at it. Or are they? He's fighting with someone. So. No, he's got Aston, which I think is Michael's. Yeah, it was Michael's.
Oh.
Never mind then. Forget that. I just saw telemetry showing, ooh, close car. Let's go have a look. But no. It's quite settled down now, isn't it? There's a lot of...
Biden's still struggling to make room past Levchenko, which, must be really frustrating for him, because he definitely looks like he's got the pace. He's just... Where does he attack? Where can he get it done? Levchenko's just so calm under pressure.
Now people need to start thinking about their strategy. I mean, they should have already thought about it prior to this anyway, because in the actual pit MFD, they need to make sure they've got it all lined up. But, you want to start thinking about how you attack this race now. Do you want to go for an undercut? Do you want to go for an overcut? Do you want to play your own little strategy and not really care about what anybody else is doing on the track? And after doing my race earlier today, I can honestly tell you that you basically need to just react to your car. You want to wait until your tires start to drop off, maybe take it a lap or two more, and then get into the pits, because when it comes to the end of your second stint, your tires will not be feeling very good at all, and you need to be so... I mean, this track destroys tires in general anyway, but then when you're adding any sort of like minor mistakes that you're making and you're driving, getting a bit too aggressive on the throttle because you're trying so hard to push and catch up, which is kind of the situation that Chris Vining is in right now, that is when you will find your tires get cooked so much harder. And obviously, like now, you saw him just lose the back end with a quick snap there. He's caught it again. He's well under his way, but the more that keeps happening, the more those rear tires are going to give in, and the likelihood is he's going to end up having a spin at some point.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think the only shot that Chris has right now, because of how good Levchenko is he will need to get the undercut in, but it's about timing that, because field is pretty spread out. So will you pit and end up getting stuck in traffic? Will you actually manage to fit into a little bit of open air and be able to utilize your pace? It's going to be difficult for him. Either way, whatever he does, if he tries to stay out and make the move on track, or if he tries to go for the undercut, there's risks for both.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to my boy Joe Hayes. A lot of love for this guy, and this guy bringing himself slowly back up the field. He has just taken Fredriksson as well on the previous lap, and he's got Smesh, who we know is a quick driver. Slowly working the way closer and closer, so expect to see a scrap between them soon, especially as it looks like Smesh is going to get through on Fredriksson, or at least going to have a look for the inside line into the braking zone. Turn 4 is going to put Fredriksson off the line. It should allow Smesh through, unless they get side by side coming into the next one, which I think they are still. A bit late there for Fredriksson. The undercut available. Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful move down the inside. I think he might be able to stick that in all the way into the next corner, to be honest. I mean, they're still going at it. Yeah, Aston is that little bit further ahead, and you know what? It was late from Fredriksson, but he's held the position. He's lost a lot of time to Joe, though.
Yeah, that was a beautiful switchback from Tamesh, but unfortunately, it just didn't actually pay off. You can see he definitely does have pace. One of the things I will say about him, though, is he seems to have struggled over the race distance.
Yeah.
He's been caught up in instants. He's made some slight mistakes that's cost him a lot of time in places. So, as Fredriksson makes another mistake, and Tamesh is now going for the inside. They're getting side by side again. This is not really the corners you wanted to do battling, but it might actually work out for Tamesh now. He's got the inside here, and if he just breaks on his normal time, he should hold on. There we go. That's in front into the chicanes that you love so much.
Oh yes, they please my heart and soul. Penalties are coming in as well now. So Tudor's got a 10-second. Yaramilo has a 5 at the minute. That might get extended, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So we're settling on that 5 for Yaramilo, which is good for him, I guess, to an extent, not getting the full 10. Chris Vining, though, still sitting in the back of Levchenko. Again, the defensive masterclass that we're seeing in previous season is being replicated again here on this track by the Lightning McQueen Ferrari. What's his name? What's he named his team? King Arthur? Okay. Why is it not white and red then?
Can't even see the team name on my screen right now, but
Could be in the in the bottom right where it says like,
I have a thing up, so I need to go and enter the drive. Yeah, King Arthur. I'm going to imagine that's. I don't know. Actually, no. Can't think of any reason why King Arthur would be these colours.
I don't actually know what is that a Romanian flag that he's got?
Maybe.
Somebody tell me what. Answer a postcard, please. Is that Romania? The flag in the bottom
In
right
fact,
corner?
no, because Romania's got red in it as well, so no.
I don't know. Somebody who knows things, tell us.
Yeah.
There are a few flags actually here that I don't recognise. So another penalty has come in as well for Wagner, so 15 seconds for him, which is really not good. Ukraine, apparently. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it. I think Wagner should just follow. Oh, he's actually lost a lot of time. He's trailed off now a little bit. If he nails the pit stop, he will undercut Levchenko. Possibly, yeah. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of factors that come into variables, is the word I was looking for. There's a lot of variables that come into which kind of will be the defining moment as to whether or not the undercut or overcut or whatever pit stop strategy will work. Is
Rofi's spun off. He's right in front of Levchenko now.
He's lost out to Pierce as well. Let's have a quick peek and see if we can find out exactly what happened. Think back 30 seconds. So coming through into turn 3. It's fine through there. So it must have been a turn 4 sitch. Have a look. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's a slide. Oh, he caught it. But yeah, he lost and he also stalled as well, which didn't help the situation. And as he gets going again...
He's off. He's off again.
Waiting for the replay to go. He's dropping like a stone here as well. Look at all the people coming through. That is Cooperus. Appleton, sorry. He's got a video. Oh, and again, just clipping that curb. He's losing everything now. All mistakes are being made. That's also the GTR now, Vinogradov, that's gone through. Ruffy really having a nightmare now.
Snapping again. What's happened? He must have his pressures all wrong.
Yeah, must do. I think, again, like I was saying earlier, though, once you do lap after lap after lap of your car living on the edge, your tyres just give in and the temperature drops. Oh, is he going to the pits? I think he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah. This could be a recovery. Oh, was that a wall touch?
Yeah, he clipped the wall on the way in as well. That's a big drama there from what was a race leader just, 45 seconds ago.
But that also now puts Pierce in a position where he's pretty chilled, He's got a hefty gap, 4.7, 4.8 almost to Levchenko behind him. That can change very, very suddenly. There's no question about that. But the fact that he's able to sort of now be a little bit more relaxed, still got to push, still got to be consistent, but that's all he has to focus on now is just being consistent. Nothing else is going to change. Oh, Franchenko. That was he's lagging all over the place for me. I can only imagine what Joe Hayes is seeing in that car when he's hunting him down.
Yeah, and you can see he's giving him a bit of a wide berth there. I don't think he'll want to go for any too close moves if it's... I mean, it looks like Franchenko might have settled down a little bit now, but yeah, I don't think Joe wants to get particularly close.
A bit of a late break there from Joe, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe looks like he's really worried about running into the back of that McLaren. I mean, I've teamed with Joe in a number of endurance races and raced with him. He's a great friend of mine and yours, but a great friend of ours, I should probably have said. A great friend of ours, and having raced with him, I know the kind of driving style he has, but Franchenko off in the gravel. This is where he needs to capitalize now. Don't back out here, Joe. That's it. Get on the inside. Big boy send. Easy slaps.
There we go, making it stick.
Things you like to see.
Yeah. Oh. And he has, I would say, how's the best way to describe it? I would say he's quite a muted driver, as he doesn't try and do anything flashy. He's not going for big adventurous moves like round the outside, cutting people up, like super late breaks. He picks his moments really, really, really well, and doesn't try and force a race to happen. He's very kind of calm and collected in these situations. Yeah. And now, he's got a bit of a gap. He saw the mistake, capitalized on the mistake, and now he'll just again slowly just work his way into his rhythm and keep pushing himself forward. Yeah,
I mean, Joe is very much an endurance racer kind of guy, right? Sprint series are not necessarily something that he is natural territory for him. You stick him in a car and he needs to do multiple hours, he will go and do multiple hours, no problems at all. He's the guy who you expect to do consistent lap times and not make these mistakes. He'll put hours and hours and hours into making sure that he can be ready for that kind of drive. So when it comes to Sprint Series, yeah, that's the difference maker there, is just that on-track battling with other cars. It's something that he really needs to work on, but, can't really critique him when he can pull off overtakes like that where it's as surgical and as clean as you can like.
Yeah. Especially, one of the other things, these, let you go.
Yeah, Ramila. It looked like he was going to go around the outside through the hairpin, but yeah, didn't get it. Sorry, as you were.
One of the other things you need to know about Joe is he's also put his age on the car, so
oh, oh, my word! Do him dirty. Poor guy. Oh.
It's all right, Jumpstart Joe. You could watch this later and then we'll have a talk.
Jumpstart Joe, the poor guy, man. Stop it! He's already dead. Leave him alone.
He's not dead. That's race. He's doing great.
Hold that. Vinogradov going for a move through turn 2 and 3. They're side by side together. This is fantastic stuff. This should favour the GTR. I mean, the McLaren trying to carry momentum so much went off the track. GTR is through, and that is a very off line there for Appleton. A bit of a wobble going through into turn 2, which is what caused that to open up in the first place. But yeah, now that I've stopped you from abusing my boy, can we catch up on the chat? Caro says that his tyres overheated at the slide, so yeah. Is this the faster or slower European split? I wouldn't say that either is faster than the other. There's two like very close front end splits. There's at least a couple of drivers in the others that I think, ooh, I actually would like to see them fight against these guys in here as well and see where they go. I actually couldn't tell you which one I would say.
What we will find out though is when we have the that was a big late move there from Podolak, as he nearly wiped out a few drivers there. That was right into the gravel. But yeah, what we potentially will find out is the end of the season when you get the top drivers from both splits and throw them in the ring together.
Yeah.
So we might get to see what split has more of the speedy boys.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So a quick catch up on the chat. Hello, Melissa. Shut up, Ben. Hi, Badger. I'm just gonna block you. All right. Nice overtake. Elbows out, baby. Let's go. What do these guys do on race pace? So current fastest lap is a 43.4. And that was done by, I think, Brophy, right? Didn't he do that? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It was Brophy. In terms of last laps, we're looking at 44.0, 44.4, 44.2, 45.1, 46.5. But also bear in mind that these all are towards the end of their tyre life.
Collision there. It looked like it might have been lag again from Franchenko going into Wagner.
We'll let the stewards pick up on that. But yeah, Franchenko down there, P21. Wagner quite far back. So Levchenko still keeping Chris at bay. Chris has literally been living in his shadow the entirety of this race. It's now, for me, I think Chris needs to try and extend the life of the tyres a little bit further, right? Because from my perspective, if he doesn't, he's been basically sitting in the shadow of Levchenko for no reason. Because Levchenko, obviously, Chris has got the ability to be pulled along quite nicely in the tow. Yeah, the dirty area is a bit brutal sometimes, but the way that he's driving shouldn't really affect him too much, whereas Levchenko is throwing his car through corners really, really hard. So it's quite... I think he has to stay out like a couple of laps longer if he's got the fuel for it. But at the same time, if your overcut idea doesn't work, you're going to be in a bit of a pickle when it comes out of your pit stop.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, you could go for the undercut, but realistically speaking, you need more than 1 or 2 laps to make it work, because the undercut you're putting in more fuel. And he's making an attempt just now. Levchenko went defensive and forced Vinen to try and take the long way around, and it's actually worked. Levchenko once again showcasing some great defensive skill.
Yeah, I actually want to go into the cockpit here with Chris Vinen just to see, because you can learn a lot by watching someone's steering inputs, just sort of the behavior that they're trying to check onto it here. Going into turn 9. There's a foot down, bit of a wobble, but not really a severe thing to worry about. Can't look for the inside for a late break, so it's going to just be normal braking point. Levchenko goes very wide in the braking zone there. It's that curb. This is where, if Chris doesn't touch that inside curb, he can bunch right up to the back of Levchenko here. Oh. And the grip that he's got through that corner in that Porsche just makes things so much easier. But he's actually torque steering through there. He's powering so hard in the Porsche that he's actually counter steering. Oh, Levchenko's in.
There we go. He's in. So Vinen needs maybe 2 laps to just floor it and see what he can do. He's got nothing to worry about from behind because they've got such a big gap. But this is the moment. This is the critical laps. He's got, say, 2 laps. He needs to absolutely go flat out. See if he can gain a couple of seconds.
Appleton getting a 10-second penalty. Sorry. I actually want to stay fully on board with Vining throughout this entire lap, just because I want to see. I'm looking at the deltas and I can't see any other major fight. There's a Gaska potentially fight. Oh. Viney now in free air. The pressure on because he knows that he's got to deliver a good in-lap. The car... Look how much he's torque steering here. This is really quite interesting. Gotta... No, he's missed the apex there. That wasn't... For a corner where torque steering is really common there. See, this is where he's struggling here in the Porsche.
Yeah.
He's losing a lot of time there.
Yeah, it's kind of matching Pierce right now, which is good because Pierce was 7/10ths faster than him last lap. So if he's able to match what Pierce is doing this lap, he is definitely gaining and more speed since he's got the free air. So it might not look like he's going particularly much faster, but he is still making slight gains.
And we also have to bear in mind that, you know, Chris was all up in Levchenko's rear end for the fact that he's genuinely just faster overall in comparison to the Ferrari. He needs to box this lap right now, in my opinion. He has to box right here. If you don't box here, you lose out way too much. Yeah, he knows. Good. Good. Okay, so he's done... No... He's hesitated. That's a hesitate. That might cost him. Ooh.
That was close. We'll see.
I'm worried for him. That could have been disastrous.
I'm not. What's going to happen is they're going to come out side by side and it's going to be great. It's going to be a battle. We're going to enjoy it.
I'm pretty sure Levchenko is going to be behind him. My worry is whether or not he sped in the pit lane there. Because he was very close. It looked too fast to me as well. So I'm a little bit concerned. Caro, I've just seen the messages. Sorry, mate. Yes, absolutely. There are spaces. Come get involved. You just need to join the Discord. I think there should be a link in the description of the video. Levchenko getting through on the Beamer. That's Viniecki. Yeah, check out the description. If it's not in there, we'll get you a link to the Discord server. There might even be a command. Maybe !Discord might work. Try that. Get involved in the Discord server. Go and sign up on the website. Yeah, and just get in it. Here comes Levchenko. Where is
Chris is on his way out. He's on his way out. This might actually be exactly as what I said, side by side. Here we go.
There's Vinan. Now Vinan's ahead. Unless he can somehow brake very late, then Vinan is ahead.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
Did it. And now Chris just needs to warm those tires up, keep the Ferrari behind, and you know, before you know it, he's gonna get him. You're in it already? Good. Yeah, I really want to know if Chris was speeding in that pit lane, because to me, it did look like he actually sped into the pit lane.
Yeah, it was close. It was definitely close.
Look at the traffic now that Chris has there. So the BMW getting out the way there. That is Podolec, potentially. Could be Podolec. Levchenko gone deep. Wow, that was deep.
Much deep, yeah.
Such wow. And pit stops are definitely kicking. Race leader has now boxed as well, so Nathan Pierce in. Look at the look at how many McLarens there are up at the front right now. I mean, yeah, it's mainly due to pit stops. Get out the way, Franchenko. Don't intervene. You don't want to get in trouble for this. I mean, he's out the way, in fairness, so we can't really complain too much. Oh, no, that's actually for position. I take that back. He is actually fighting for position. So he doesn't have to get out of the way.
Okay, you're worse than F1 drivers here. Blue flags, blue flags.
Blue flags. Get out the way. Yeah, I'm not Vettel, though. I'm better than Vettel.
Oof. Is that what we say?
Chris is fortunate we are not F1 strict with a pit exit line. True. You know everything about speeding, don't you? Unfortunately, I do.
Speedy boy, son, you are. And
look how far ahead Pierce is.
As I was just about to say, it's looking like Pierce has a good 10-second lead right now. Just trying to
so
gauge
far
that,
ahead.
But yeah, maybe more than that actually.
Well, according to this, we'll wait till the Delta updates. 2.1 to Fredrickson.
Yeah, but P doesn't count. He's not pitted yet. So it's looking, to Chris actually, it's looking about 5-6 seconds.
Yeah. Pretty healthy lead, but not as healthy as I thought it was. I thought it was way bigger than that.
Yeah, because it took a wee while for the timing sheets to update after they crossed the line.
Yeah.
because obviously exiting the pits and everything. The positions were a bit weird. It looked like he had a good 10 seconds, and I was like, oh dear.
So the McLaren is also really good here because the tire management that it has is really quite good. You don't have to worry too much about the tire. The tires do obviously wear away, but they don't disintegrate like they do on most other cars, especially cars like the Porsche, where we saw Brophy's tires literally disintegrate, and he found himself right the way down the order. Where is he actually? Oh, no, he's bringing it back up. P11 is where he is right now.
Potentially of his own fault, though. We don't know. Like, the initial spin could have cooked his tyres, which would have been his own fault, and then afterwards it could have just been they were messed from the spin, rather than they were already on the way out. So, yeah, I mean, he definitely was having lots of pace before the spin occurred, so as long as he can keep it together, he should still potentially be on for a P4.
Yeah.
Maybe a podium if he gets a little bit lucky with Vining and Levchenko fighting each other, but he will need quite a bit of luck for that.
Oh, look at this. So Fredriksson, who is still yet to pit, is very close to being chased down by Chris Vining, who also has Levchenko very much in tow as well, who's, we know is a very quick driver, usually known more for the defensive drive than an offensive drive. But because of how much Chris was being held up there was a chance for Levchenko to pull it back. Hasn't quite done so. So it's still going to stay as is. And actually, just a quick mention on what we're seeing in the chat. So about the pit line. So yes, according to the game, you can actually be faster than what the speed limiter says as long as you're in first gear and activate the pit limiter before you cross the line. However, these races are live stewarded, so the stewards are actually looking at the speed at which you cross the line. And if you are going faster than what it should be when you cross the line, then the stewards will issue you a penalty on their own. So it may not give you that stop go 30 in game. The stewards may just give you individually your own little time penalty, which they would have done already, I would have thought, for Chris. So it looks to me like he's probably going to get away with, well, it looked like it was a fine pit stop, should I say, not get away with. Looks like it was a fine pit stop, as Viniecki and Schultz are having a little scrap.
Just actually want to go back and touch on Brophy. I've kept an eye on him there, and it looks like when he's under the heavy braking, the car is very twitchy still. So I don't know if he's just not got a setup that's actually comfortable, but any heavy braking zone, the back end is just snapping, so maybe that is wearing his tyres down a lot. And in that case, he came in with like 40 minutes to go, so the tyres at the end of the stint could be absolutely shot.
Well, it honestly, to me, it screams rake is way too high. I mean, the Porsche has a very snappy rear end anyway. It's very well known for being quite snappy. But the rake can really dictates how much the car snaps. Like, if you have a really high rear rake on this car, it will just throw you out. But also at the same time, you need to make sure that you keep yourself, you keep your brake bias set correctly as well. If that's too rearward, it can easily just go whoop and see you later. Question for the commentators: what corner would you remove in this track and why? Melissa's right. The whole track. Just delete it all.
Wrong. Take out the RACC chicane. And then the track's back to being perfect.
Was that contact? Let's have a quick look. The Yaramilo. Let's go to cockpit cam. Yep, contact. The Yaramilo did run into the back of Appleton there, which just caused a little bit of a wobble. But we are still continuing. And he did give the position. Well, I said give the position. He did back off to let him go again. So I don't think we'll be seeing any penalties or anything applied for that one.
Yep, I think the correct thing was done. Brophy's right on the back of Fredriksson now. Fredriksson hasn't pitted yet. Brophy looks like he's got all manner of pace, but it looks like he's pushing him through that final chicane. Which, as I say, should be the turns that you remove. Take out the chicane, bring back the nice long sweeping right-hander, and this track is back to being mwah.
Yeah, and also you'll nerf the Porsche even harder if you did that.
But you don't make changes to a track to pick a fight with a type of car.
No,
you
I
just
don't disagree.
do it because it makes because sector 1 and 2 are good. Like, they're good. Regardless of what you say, sector 1 and 2 are fun, they're sweeping, they're flowing, and then you get to sector 3 and then you have the really awkward turn, like go like after turn 11, the right hander, and then you go down a tiny straight for the really annoying chicanes, and it's just like, nah, just get rid of the chicane, make it as soon as you come out to turn 11, you just go on a big long sweeping right hander, and then you're back, and it's just beautiful.
Jack, can
beautiful.
you smell that? Can you smell that? It smells like bull poo.
Nah, you're just jealous.
I hate turns 7 and 8. They are horrible.
I understand the hatred. I think they are probably, if you take the entire circuit into consideration, turns 7 and 8 are probably the hardest to get perfect because of how it makes your car. The car's never balanced.
Exactly, and that's my point. It for me, it takes away the driver part of it and makes it more of a setup thing, which I don't necessarily hate. I just think a track should be about the driver and the car, right? As in the connection between the driver and the car, less than the setup.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Did you ever watch any old races before they added the final chicane?
No.
Well, I recommend going back and watching some, because watching the cars like absolutely beast out of that final corner, going like mega down the straights, having battles down the straights, is really, really good and really, really exciting. And it just made the track flow much, much better. But they basically wanted to slow the cars down, hence adding in the final chicane. And yeah, it's been a bad decision.
Them must be fighting words, Melissa. 1v1 me. I don't think Melissa's ready for the smoke they should get, to be honest. Can't take the heat. Stay at it, kitchen.
Well, Melissa, don't worry. I've got your back in this. Raggy slow boy.
Well, I'd like to say they should have my back, but if you're so far away from me, they won't have a chance to get my back. Smack talk, lay down. Plus Bentley sucks, just saying.
Just having a look to see where the battles are. Michaels looks like he is getting nice and close to Fredrickson now after Fredrickson finally pitted. So Michaels and Franchenko. Franchenko mounted that curb there. It looks like he's still, I don't know if he's still lagging or if it's just how he was attacking the curbs there, but his car looked rather jumpy. And Pierce is catching up to them as well. So Pierce is seeing this battle in front of him, like, please guys, blue flag.
Get out the way. Be gentle with me. I'll tell you, like, I was thinking about this earlier when I was racing in my league race here, which is having a penalty against your name is like having a criminal record. Everyone already assumes the worst of you when they approach you to like, you know, like either overtake you for blue flags or overtake you in general. It's always the worst, you know what I mean? Like, they've committed a crime already once before. They're capable of doing it again. That's the kind of pain that I have whenever I'm racing with someone. But Jaramillo, already going for a move on Appleton. That was a very late lunge out to the left-hand side. Let's get the helicam going here. He's gone so far off to the left. Appleton's going to really tight run into it. Is he going to get through? Oh, my word. He squeezed him off the track into the runoff area. Jaramillo might have to give that back. I'm not sure, but...
yeah, I don't know. Like, Appleton drove into him on the straight, and that's what made Jaramillo go all the way out to the side. Jaramillo was trying to hold him tight into turn 1, and Appleton was like, nope, I'm just going to keep moving left and nudge you across. So yeah, I don't know if... that was nearly murder. But yeah, I don't know if they'll look at that. It looked just like very aggressive from both of them.
Yeah. So watching race leader making way through the traffic. This must be the most nerve-wracking area of the circuit for him. His entire race has been pretty chill.
Fredrickson like warping a little bit. Not Fredrickson, Franchenko. You've seen him warping a little bit, so you're like, oh, please no, please no.
And obviously Fredrickson doesn't want to lift at all because the two cars behind are fighting for position. But he does have to get out of the way a little bit. But he really can't afford to be making any mistakes going into turn 1. Oh, my word, Michaels nearly kills Fredrickson. It'd have been an Aston on Aston situation. But Pierce is through. Is going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable now that he's got a decent gap to the car behind.
And also a decent gap to the car in front. He's not becoming any traffic for a little bit. There's a good, I don't know, say 7-8 seconds before he's on the back of Landreth.
Just realised how far ahead Pierce actually is.
Yep.
In comparison, I'm on board with Jaromir, who's coming towards T1 now, and Pierce, our race leader, is already at turn 7-8. So.
Yep. And obviously Vinen is right behind this pack. He's kind of catching up to the pack of.
Well, he's really catching up. I've just seen the lap delta.
He's speedy boy.
Yeah. Well, last lap from Nathan Pierce, granted, did have traffic, so we'll cut him some slack, was a 44.3. Last lap from Vinen was a 43.8. But also to mention, Levchenko did a 43.6. So both of them are catching up very, very, very quickly. I don't think there's going to be enough time in this race for them to be able to catch up and actually maybe pressure Pierce into any sort of mistakes or actual overtaking opportunities. But this still shows some sort of sign that if Pierce was to have even a wobble, this race could still swing its way. However, Vining is going to need to get through the traffic in the same way that Pierce did. He's already got through Franchenko, so yeah, that's quite convenient there in that respect. But does still have a couple more cars to go in the form of Michaels and Fredriksson before the next car ahead is race leader.
Yeah, and you know, Pierce did manage to get past in fairly short order, really, to those guys. So Vinen will be hoping for the same sort of luck, not catch them at awkward parts of the track. But to be honest, he's kind of going to be catching them at a really bad part of the track. If he's right under the back of Michaels right now, and then whenever he's trying to get through Fredriksson, it might be the dreaded turn 7-8, like going on to turn 9, which realistically it's going to be difficult.
Tan going for a move on Schultz. Schultz has the more pace because of the straight line speed that the Lambo has, but the late brake from the Bentley around the outside through turn 1. There's a bit of touch between them. Nothing going to cause any problems there. The Lambo is still ahead, but Bentley has a much better run through turn 3. Should be able to carry the momentum all the way out of the corner and in towards turn 4. Has the inside line, but Schultz goes to cover it off. Bentley comes back over to the left-hand side. He's going to again look for some sort of switchback potentially. Doesn't actually get it. The Schultz holding on to that position. Gatan really wanted to get it in there as quick as possible.
Yep, and
I was going to go for it again. Sorry, go on. As you were.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Just letting you know, if Vining has made it through the pack, and Levchenko is now caught right up to the back of Michael. So these guys aren't getting a break right now from blue flags. Every lap they're having to get out of the way, and Franchenko has dropped off a little bit, just as he's been letting the guys through. Levchenko now trying to make the move on Michaels, who's pulling out to the inside, letting him go. But yeah, Fredriksson has managed to hold his position for now.
Question in chat from Ultimate Local says, question for the commentators. Talk about the removing stupid chicane in this track. What do you think is another corner in other tracks that has the same notoriety?
Oh, other tracks? I misread that completely. Oh, that's a good question.
That is a tough one.
I think
what other corners?
The corner, like, I know I'm gonna get shit
I've got
for
one.
this. The castle section in Baku, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. The cars are 2 meters wide, and that section is like 3.5 wide. Like, and realistically, that's it from point to point. Like, you're never going to be having that. Levchenko's into the wall.
Oh, a quick peek as to exactly what that was then. So 7-8.
Just what I was complaining
about. He was
dodging.
He was trying to dodge, but just ran off it wide. It shouldn't be a problem. He's only lost a little bit of time. He will have a scrape of damage. Nothing really too big to complain about. So I think he's fine. He's just not really got a chance now of catching Chris.
Yeah.
Zolder, the suicide chicane.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That can just do one.
I said, you just don't like chicanes, clearly. That's.
I don't
just
like
remove every
chicanes.
chicane.
I like chicanes. I don't like the chicanes where the idea is to just full send your car over it and pray that it works. Do you know what I mean?
Were you, I don't know if you were watching at the time, but were you watching F1 when the Singapore sling was the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was death.
Suicide, literally.
Like, every race, there was at least one person who was like over the sling and nearly out of the track. It was just launched them so hard. It was like, oh god. So that was good. That one got removed. We had our way, and that went in the bin. But yeah, there's a lot of... See that, like, if you look at it from another point, like, I know a lot of people really struggle with the Wall of Champions. I really like that as part of the track. It's a difficult part, you know, and it leads to some good racing. But I can understand people's distaste for that. But yeah, there's a lot of tracks, and like, I don't think there's many tracks really that are perfect. You know, there's always some that I would want to tweak in some ways.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the thing. You're always going to have that on certain tracks. For me, though, the main one, and I know that it's now being fixed finally, I wouldn't really say that the whole corner needs to be it's just the runoff area, but Eau Rouge, Radion, and desperately needed changing.
Yeah.
Desperately needed changing. I'm surprised it took this long for them to do it.
Well, to be fair, they're not even changing the corners.
They're just changing the runoff.
Yeah, which absolutely they need to do. But it's good that they're keeping the corner as it is, because, I mean, I was about to say because it's like a challenging part of the race and stuff. It's not really in modern F1 cars, but in other series and other cars, you know, it is like a really, really challenging thing to get right.
Yeah.
Modern F1 cars just don't even notice it now, which is terrifying. But just shows you how good these cars are.
What's your opinion on Brands Hatch?
I am not a fan to drive it, but I think it's a nice track.
See, racing on it is hard, and it is one of the hardest tracks to overtake on. But it is probably my favorite track in this game.
Yeah.
I think hot lapping is phenomenal. It's so much fun to hot lap on, in my opinion. It was one of the first tracks that I got very good at pretty quickly. And I love the fact that you need to be... There's a lot of like blind corners, which most people would think that's horrible. Why would you want to do that? But for me, Brands is genuinely one of my favorite circuits. What about Silverstone?
Okay, so I really like Silverstone, but and this isn't the fault of the track because of location. It was built on an airfield, but for me, it's like a very, very good track, and it's like the way it's done is very, like, they do a lot with what they've got with like an airfield. It just lacks any real elevation change because obviously it's an airfield. It's supposed to be flat. So I think the track's really good. I think it's exciting to watch. It's high speed. It's, you know, it's got like nice twisty sections. It takes a lot out of the driver and out of the car, but it's effectively flat. So they could do, like, if I was to design it, like, I would pretty much keep it the exact same, but add like elevation changes like in certain sectors. But like the actual turns themselves are really, really good. The camber obviously pretty much doesn't exist in most places because very flat surface. But yeah, it's nice. I just, again, not perfect.
All right, with that in mind, then, what's your favorite track ever in any?
Istanbul Park.
Okay.
That's not even a question. Istanbul Park. However, like, the Istanbul Park is the same. It has the same thing for me that I love it for like a lot of personal reasons, much in the same way that I love Catalonia. You know, it's like, I appreciate the flaws in this track, but like, it's special to me. So I'm like, yeah, I love this track.
You need help.
Well, that may be, but I'm still right.
Let's catch up with the chat then. So Melissa says Snetterton turn 3. Turn 3. Is that the hairpin? Can't remember which one it is. Every turn in Paul Ricard. Yeah. All right, I'm going to confess something now. I'm going to confess something that I don't think I've ever confessed.
Oh, you're going to say you like Paul Ricard?
In F1, I fucking hate Paul Ricard. Like, can't tell you how much I hate that track, right? Mid-straight chicane as well is just stupid. I think GT3 cars at Paul Ricard are actually incredible. It promotes so much fighting, and it is really, really enjoyable to do, especially when you like drag racing all the way down that straight. There's just something about it that just makes it so good. I really, really like it. I didn't think I would, but I really do enjoy it.
The problem that Paul Ricard has, this is a test track, you know. It's designed to basically take lots of things from lots of other circuits and be like, right, how would a car handle going through X, Y, and Z? And so that's why there's like thousands of different layouts you can have for it and stuff. It really wasn't designed for racing, but I do agree that having removing the weird like chicane they have in the middle of the straight in F1 promotes really good like GT3 racing. I would say that it gives like, but again, like it has the problem where because the straight's so long, realistically that part's down to the car.
Yeah.
You know, more than the driver. Just sit in the toe. If you've got like a higher top end speed car, sit in the toe for a bit and then just slingshot your way by and just be like, all right, see it.
So I had the exact same fight style with Fortune, or Espen Hansen, for those of you who don't know him by Fortune. So he, when we were doing rookies together, he was driving the Porsche and I was driving the Audi, and I would
hold
honestly...
on that thought, Mesh. It looks like he was attacking Porsche, but his mate had to stick back in. It was getting really close. They were side by side there as they were just attempting to turn through turn 7 and 8. And Tamesh had to back out. Wasn't to make the move stick, but he is looking very feisty. I'm
showing his face in the mirrors on the inside as well. But it might have just scared him offline just a touch. Bouchette. Oh, I thought he was going to go into the back end there, but we're still okay. Yeah. I don't think Bouchette is going to worry about this just yet until he gets into the home straight. If the gap stays as is, my word, that was close. If the gap stays like this, then Smesh will get him on the straight without a doubt. The pace that the Ferrari has in a straight line versus what the Porsche has in a straight line, unless the Porsche is running some sort of crazy low wing setup, is just going to be a whitewash. So let's see. Here's the Ferrari in the toe. You see him reeling him in. Going into the defensive line already, which is good news for the Porsche. Flicks over to the inside for Tmej. They're going to go side by side for a second, but it looks like fair play to Bouchette. Holding that on is not easy to do at all, especially in the Porsche. He's got to do it for 5 more minutes, so we're at least looking at 3 laps or so. Maybe even get a 4th in that.
Yeah, he's done well there. You know, he picked his line very well. It went down the middle, so it was a case of, you know, if you go on the outside and I've got the inside to defend, if you go on the inside, you have a very difficult turn-in. So he picked the line really well, but you can just see Tmej all over the back of him.
Blues. All right, Blues has lost out on a couple of places then. Joe has got ahead of him, so I think Blues has now fallen to P15.
Yeah, Blues has invalidated this lap, so he might have had a little bit of an off.
Bit of an oopsie. Yeah, interesting. He's going to go for it again. Are we going to see another send from Tmej? Again, showing face on the inside mirrors, but not able to capitalize on it at all. Thomas. I'm going to stay on board with him just for the run, at least until the end of the home straight. Big wobble there.
Yeah, that was a squeaky bum time.
That looks like a brake bias issue to me. I don't think he's got the brake bias set correctly. Either that or, again, short shifting.
Yeah,
he's a short shift there.
He looks like he's not going to attempt it on this lap. Just going to keep tucked in, but You know, he is pulling him in, reeling him in, so see if he does the dive bomb. Doesn't. Yeah, just...
He's just overcooking it. He's still letting it slow down past the apex. It means he's not able to then open it up for the next corner. Like last lap time, a 46.8. So we're talking 2 seconds off of the pace of most of the people ahead, to be fair. So he really needs to... I mean, now we're already at the late stages. It's going to be really hard to actually gain anything here. But look how late the brakes are from the Ferrari. The Ferrari will lose in a break-off with the Porsche if they both activate the brakes at the same time. But this is more about the size of your cojones, because look at the size of this guy's cojones. He's going down the inside into turn 7, which will force him onto the outside for turn 8 and 9. I think realistically, it was ambitious to try that, but you need to just be patient. Yeah, I know you've only got 2 minutes 45 to go in this race, but you cannot afford to be going for any sort of like silly moves like this. And again, you can't even get him in the straight, not on that one anyway. Your timer is just not going to work out for you. You've got to get yourself all lined up and make one good shot at it.
To be honest, I think that was actually a really good move from Temej, because that's going to be in Beaucharp's mind now. He's going to be thinking about that every time they get close. So, yes, he might not have made the move stick, but he's now definitely going to be sitting there, you know, chipping away at his mind, being like, oh, is he going to go for a big send? Is he going to... It's not an orthodox corner to go like to make a move into. So now it's not just the end of the straight that you'll need to defend. It's every corner, every potential time he gets close to you. He's like, well, I might have to move slightly just to make sure everything's correct. As we see, Michael's getting a drive through.
Yeah, imagine getting a drive through this late into the race. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
No, I don't disagree with you, except for the fact that if it needed to be a lot earlier in the race rather than now. Now there's no time for any of that. We're now on the final lap from the leader. Yeah, they'll get the rest of this and then one more lap after. But it now needs to be send City where it's in the right location. Here would be a great inside send. Doesn't put the nose in there enough, doesn't commit hard enough to force the Porsche offline. Could have just broke late there and would have been able to get that move done. As long as you didn't miss the apex. Here, you can't really go for a send. You just need to try and carry your line through. Open up turn 9, which loses the back end, so not really going to get the full run out of turn 9 that he needs. Not going to get the momentum to chase down into the hairpin either, so this is going to be a wait for it. Yeah, it just... And again, moving off the line there isn't helping. I know you're showing your face into the mirrors of the car ahead of you, but you're actually affecting your run out of the corner after it. It's more... It's trying too many mind games and not going back to basics in some areas. Like, it's good to see that the driver has the talent to pull off the mind games, but it's not working. Buscher is not getting phased by your mind games at all. You got to just go back to what you know works. And then now this is your last ditch attempt. You've got nothing else going now. You've got to get this right.
Dive bomb T1.
A little bit too far back, I think, for dive bomb T1. 6 tenths,
no,
5 tenths.
I think he's good. I think he's good.
No.
Going for it. He's doing it. Go for it.
I've seen dive bombs, but that would have been a tactical nuke, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, our race leader, Nathan Pierce, had a pretty easy race, to say the least. Handled everything that was given to him, crosses the line, and will take victory here in round 4. Chris Viney will take second, and a fair bit further back, but still coming. Lashchenko. Oh, yeah.
He's finally forced a mistake, but now they've got some company as well. And that's actually potentially just saved.
Go back. Oh, that's a mistake from the Beamer. Really needed to cut back there.
Yeah. I think, again, it's through no fault of their own, I think the back markers actually just saved the Porsche from a little bit of, shall we say, argy-bargy overtaking.
Yeah, this is... Temej's not going to get this. Oh my word, that was close. Again, running out very wide there. If this is done, I don't think Temej can actually get the position now. He will need some major mistake or drive-through for Buscher in order to gain this.
imagine a drive-through just coming through the chicane.
Oh, they're going to fight this. He's going to go for it. Go on. Big send down the inside. Please get him. He's not going to get it. Wow, that would have been fantastic. Good effort. Good try. But they will cross the line. Boscher ahead of Tmej, 15th and 16th.
Yeah. And I just want to touch on Brophy. You know, after a big issue, really. He did lose the win, but good comeback. Managed to get P4. Well done.
Yeah, fair play. Alrighty. Let's get ourselves then into the next race, if the server is up now, because it wasn't there earlier. Let's pray.
Yeah, it's there.
Are we there yet? We are here. Actually, we didn't see a safety car that entire race.
We did not. Very upsetting.
And we have Vert's back. And our boy McFriedling, baby. And Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
All the others. Things you'd like to see, yeah?
Things you like to see.
Or love to see, depending on the kind of person you are.
Just having a look. Who are we missing? Who are the main?
Is Nicholas here?
Names.
Nicholas
doesn't
in
look
here?
like he is.
Your
Is
boy's not here. Nope.
No, he's not.
We are early though, in fairness. They could just be showing up.
We do have a little bit of time. 8 minutes roughly.
Can I do the usual to you?
Oh, go on then.
No, Princey? What's going on here?
No, Princey.
Let's check how many people.
After I gave him such a good shout out last week. Unbelievable.
You're red. So we're expecting 18.
18.
Yeah. Yeah, and your boy, Nicholas, has confirmed as being there. So.
Oh, good stuff. That's what we like to hear.
People we're not going to see are Kujin, Hussein, Bauer's not going to be here. Kaki's not going to be here. Daniel Joseph, Lennox Brown, Thorpe, Tubby, and Prince. They're not going to be here.
Those are some big names that are not showing up tonight.
But there are some good names. There are still a couple of people who haven't yet said if they're going to be here or not. I'm just looking to see if there are any names in particular who are here. Lagalante said he's going to be here.
Yep, he is here already.
Did well last week, if I remember correctly. At least put on a good show for us.
I think he did, yeah. Did he get a podium? I think he got a podium in the.
I think he did, yeah. In first race.
He became first and then fourth, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. First and fourth. If I remember correctly, someone in chat will correct me if I am massively wrong, but I'm pretty sure he got a race win. And then after the reverse grid, he... In fact, no. Nope. Completely wrong. He didn't.
Just for a change.
It was... Nicholas got first and then third. Lagalante, I think, was... I think he was on the podium, but I can't remember the positions.
Right. Hope you've got your chatty face on, because I'm going to quickly go grab a beverage.
So what this moment for the new guys in the chat, what this moment is basically Raggy has an incredibly weak bladder, and after one race he really needs to go relieve himself. And while he does that, he comes up with the excuse to go get himself a drink as well to make it look like he didn't just have to go pee. So we now have still in free practice sessions, so you know we won't miss them too much for the qualifying. Yeah, we've got a few drivers now just showing up extra as well, so that's good. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing my boy Nicholas and see what he's able to do this week. A lot of the big name contenders that he's usually got on his tail aren't racing tonight. For whatever reason, so he might have a quite easy race, but we've seen how good Lagalante is. He could definitely be up there. Saturday we would also expect to get on up there and maybe challenge for the race win and for podium. So I'm expecting some good things. Thank you, Vincey. P3 race 1, P2 race 2. Excellent. Yeah, I knew he was on the podium. I just couldn't. My mind was a blank. Who else we've got that we could look out for? Luke Francis, he has some on and off issues, so we'll see if he's able to nail it together. You know, with again, a few of the main names not showing up tonight. Luke is someone we can always count on to be fast. He just needs to, you know, tidy up a little bit sometimes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's able to do and see if he can stay up there. Christoph Holzer as well. We all love Christoph Holzer. He's just such a lovely guy. And driving the Boltley, we'll see if he's able to move that up into the front. Looking at current third position, Adam Black. You know, this is a guy who joined in halfway through last season. You know, was trundling around in 16th place most of the time, and since then, he's really came on strong. You know, he doesn't ever stay up at the front. He's always up there in free practice, but when it comes to qualifying in the race, he does drop down a little bit. But he's really improved, and I just saw that. Jesus, that is Lagalante. We've just been picking you up, and then you've now blocked the pit lane. Good lord, that was
flesh wound.
Yeah, welcome back, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good introduction, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Just literally came back and sat down. And I've got some grapes with me, and I was like, oh, he's chatting away. I can have a grape or two. Bam! Right into the pit wall. It's like, okay. Chill, man.
Yeah, that was oof, that looked like a sore one.
Can I talk about somebody?
Aye.
Since we have a couple of minutes to go about. He's just joined the server. Eric Larson. Now, I've raced with this guy outside of OOR a couple of times. When I first raced with him, was not a bad driver by any stretch of imagination, but just wasn't like overly fast, overly confident, anybody to really shout about. Since, and bear in mind, that was about what, maybe 6 months ago, maybe a bit more than that. Since that point, Larson has stepped up so much, pace and consistency and confidence-wise, that you can now watch him confidently go into races and be right up near the front. Been very unlucky in OOR, I will say that. Has actually had some rough races that have been out of his control, but I'm just waiting for him to finally get that one race to demonstrate exactly what I've just been saying. I've got a feeling today's the day.
Today could indeed be the day, you know, with several of the normal front runners not showing up today. He could indeed have a moment where he can actually show exactly what he's able to do. So it'll be good to keep an eye on him. He is in the boat though, so
yeah. I mean, it's an ugly car, but you know.
We'll see if he's able to drive it to victory or not. But as we say, the McLarens are and the Porsche are the two main cars around here. But we have no McLarens today.
Oh yeah. Wow, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, 0 McLarens in the lobby right now. So, and I don't think we're waiting on anyone else.
Are you a fan of grapes?
Yes, but like, that's just such a weird question. That's basically like, are you a fan of juicy water? Because that's all a grape is.
Juicy
just
water.
Like, it's just like, you know, just a big
thoroughly
watery thing.
Yeah, but you might not like the texture, you know? Some people are quite textural.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't like based on texture alone, but I love the taste of.
Mashed potato.
What? You don't like mashed potato?
Well, alright. Let me pre-game this all with a disclaimer. I will eat pretty much any food you put in front of me, regardless of whether I like it or not, right? But mashed potato, I don't like at all. I will eat it, again, as I said, but I don't like it.
Do you eat chips?
Yeah, but it's not the same.
But like, it turns into mash when you're eating them. It's like...
it's meant to turn to mash. Everything turns to mash in your mouth.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, there's lots of things that I just really don't like the texture of, but like, I actually enjoy the taste. Like tomatoes, I hate the texture of tomatoes, but I really like tomato flavor. Like, you know, if I had something that was just tasted of tomato that wasn't like weird and slimy and shit, I would be totally happy. Love a tomato, but Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't like tomatoes on hot food. Apart from like tomato puree, obviously that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Ooh, Wally
Here we
time.
go.
Right, pick your pulsar. Go.
Are we really having a question?
Are you gonna do it again? Are you gonna be that guy?
Yeah.
Go on then.
I'm gonna do it again. Taylor. Let's be real. Let's be real.
I'm actually.
He's shown nothing but incredible pace. Taylor, pole position.
Simp.
I have absolutely no issues with that tag. I will be a Taylor simp.
You'll be a Taylor Swift simp.
I mean, I am a Taylor Swift simp.
Taylor Swift.
I am a Taylor Swift. Yes, I am. I'm a big fan of Taylor Swift.
All right. Well, I'm going to be a Francis simp.
Well, see, I was bigging up Francis when you were away as well. So we'll see. We know he's fast, but with a couple of other guys out, we can see what he's able to do. But out and out pace on top of Taylor, I just don't see it happening.
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. He's still a simp though.
So you say I'm right, but like despite that, I am also wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't have to make sense, do I? I'm a commentator. You just chat Bear Breeze, fam, and that's it.
Yeah. A commentator's job isn't to be right; it's just speculate and make other people like.
Just make the audience hate you and love you at the same time.
Yeah.
Hello, Lulu. It's good to see you. Hello, Vincey Pete. Hello, Peely. Hello, Mr. Peabody. How are we doing? I agree with Raggy. Mashed potato texture equals cannot stand it. Agreed. However, I will say this. Mashed potato, when it's been covered in gravy and even has a hint of mint sauce, or if it's the type of mashed potato that has a bit of herbs and stuff in it, it's not so bad then. It's quite enjoyable. But
see, my stepdad is a fantastic cook, like fantastic, and he often makes, like, see, for especially for like Christmas and stuff, like the Christmas spread, the stuff he makes is unbelievable. But he always makes like a really like creamy mashed potato, and it is honestly delicious. And I genuinely want to get you some so that we can evaluate your stance on mashed potato, because oh my lord, it is just divine.
Yeah, I don't like foamy mash. Do you know what I'm on about?
No.
It's not the only way. It's the
it's
only way
like
I can
kind of like dry and.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it, like when you pull it away, it kind of like makes like a foam noise when you rip foam. I don't know how to describe it. No. It's like, yeah, and you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
To be fair, like if you're having mash like that, then I'm not surprised that you don't like it. That sounds fucking rough.
I was hard done by, man.
Mash
in and around the mouth. That sounds like your kind of wet dream and my kind of nightmare.
For real though, like my stepdad's
like a kink. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Let's do the foamy mash.
I'm cringed out. Anyway, please distract us from the conversation of mash.
Creamy mash from my stepdad is fantastic. To be fair, everything he does is delightful. Like I remember, like he had like these he stewed sausages, right, and they were delicious and on their own. But then he put them as like bangers and mash with his like creamy, cheesy like mashed potato, and oh my god, I think I died and went to heaven that day.
Well, we are seeing Times getting on the board. It was Topham first, but then Verts went and beat him by a 43.4, which is very, very quick time indeed. 70p2, 6/10 off, 44.0. Then you got Topham behind, and then Luke Francis, who's just on a time, but it's 44.7, so not yet quite the pace we're expecting to see from him. More and more coming in as well, as Crawford's right on the back of him. Lagalante stepping in there as well, 44.1, raising that bar a little bit as well.
Yeah, Vert's done well in the free practice, and he's actually showing that no, that was not just a fluke. But here we go. Taylor is coming through the final turn right now, so we'll see what he's able to do for his banker lap. I've not actually been watching, so I don't know if he's had a good sectors or not. Maybe
a little bit.
maybe there. maybe it was slightly good sectors.
Is that right?
It was a 10th slower in Sector 2 on Verts, though, so Verts has got his number in Sector 2 at the moment.
Yeah, but 3 tenths in Sector 1, 2 tenths in Sector 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, yikes.
That's a big oof.
One person we haven't... there's a reason I've not spoken about him. I was going to say, one person we haven't spoken about in quite a while. Our boy McFeeling. But...
I was speaking about when you were away for your pedal.
Yeah, well, you know, I've just remembered why I don't really talk about it much anymore. It's because he drives this infernal machine.
Looks
just
glorious.
Look at it. It's just got them faces. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm so special. You know what I mean? Look at it.
Oh, mate.
Do you know what? I've just realised. Oh my god, do you know what it is? The Bentley looks like the guy from Lilo and Stitch.
I've never seen Lilo and Stitch, so you're gonna have to
Right, I'm getting you a link. That's why I don't like it.
Is he like a villain or?
He's like the evil scientist dude. It's
right,
him.
okay.
I found him. What's his name?
Evil scientist and Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch. No. I'll get you it. You wait right there. Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
Characters.
This is the type of content you can only get.
Jumba Jukiba. That's his name.
Alright, do you want to send us a link?
I'm getting it. Right, copy image address. There you go. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys as well. Hopefully that should post fine. You can just click that actually. Just click that.
I can't see it in the chat yet.
Well, it's probably because it got nerfed because it was a link.
Oh, there we go.
There's
there. What?
Tell me that doesn't look like the Bentley. Look at it. It's stupid. Am I right?
Oh my lord. I thought you meant like an actual person, not whatever this is.
It's a character. Tell me he doesn't look like him. It's stupid.
Okay. I can see where you're seeing the resemblance. But, oh my lord.
I was looking at his dumb face going through turn 1, and right through there... I'm sick. Feel ill. What does it mean to have the Bottas Award? Oh yeah, you got to defend yourself now. You said somebody's got the Bottas Award. Now you got to say what it means.
So basically, because right. So we will specify. We were asked who would be Perez, and because we had Brophy and Pierce disappear off into the distance. I was like, it's like watching Max and Lewis, and they were disappearing off into the distance. So what we done is we looked for other people who had the same team as those in front. So we picked someone, can't remember, to be Perez because it was the same team as Brophy, and then the Bottas Award because we see Bottas, generally speaking, like in P11 now-ish, 11, 12, not really in the top 10 as he should be driving a Mercedes. The Bottas Award was basically saying that you're in the same team and you're in that rough position.
Calling you bad.
I wasn't calling anyone bad. There is no.
I like throwing people into awkward situations that they didn't actually
it takes a lot to make me feel awkward. It was the start of the race, you know? You can always gain positions.
True.
It's fine.
Not a bad thing.
It doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you finish until they introduced 1 point for getting the qualifying pole. Then it matters where you start.
I just say. Adam Black's car looks even more like that guy.
God. Right, let's have a look. Mr. Black, where are we?
Look at it. Ugh. Sickening to even look at. Oh my!
Do you need some therapy?
I just don't like that car at all.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to phone you someday. Okay.
I've just seen his name. Have you seen Luke Francis's team name?
I have not. Jump on board and have a look.
Have a look.
Have a look, shall we say? I like it. I like it a lot.
Only plums and horses.
Let's have a wee gander through and see if we can see some excellent team names, shall we?
Especially while no one's improving right now. Everyone is on slower laps right now.
I do like Tillot's Maniac refueled.
What? Maniac refueled.
Yeah.
Orca scratchings for JJ Verts. What's that? Acruz Racing Team?
No one else that seems to be
Black Cloud Racing. Les Survivants. Is that right?
I'll say yes.
Grazie Ragazzi Racing.
I do quite like the safety cars team name. Just safety car.
Safety
The
car.
original.
Yeah, keeping it clean.
Have you seen Larson's team name?
Working my way up there. Larson.
Creative.
Yeah, really went all out on that one, didn't he? Desert Torpedoes for Omar.
Nice. Quite like Snack Pack Racing as well, actually. Pretty good.
Still, everyone not improving. No one, literally no one is improving.
Silva's improving, but not really enough to... Well, now he's doing it enough to gain one position. 2 positions. One
I
position.
just realised there's 2 Maniac refuels.
Yep, there's 3 Maniac refuels.
Who's the other one?
We've got Tellett, I'm sure we...
Oh, yeah.
We've got Shellikins, and we've got...
Try again.
What was
His
it?
name
Christopher
right.
Folsom was the last one?
Yeah, but say his name right. So the...
I don't want to.
But you're literally Scottish. You should be able to make this phlegm noise without any problems.
No, I can.
Do it then.
My problem
Is I don't want to.
is I hate my... Like, I genuinely hate like my voice on recordings, and the last thing I want to do is be sitting here sounding even more Scottish. Like, it's like listening to, like, as I say, I love Paul di Resta, but what was I not like every time he came on speaking when we were watching the race?
Yeah,
I was losing my head.
True that.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing anything that makes me sound even more like a bell end.
Well, the quality time has hit 0. We have people out on hot laps right now improving. First of which is not going to improve is Silver, and neither is Christoph Holzer. Neither is a fair few people are actually in the pits. So JJ Verts is in P2, half a second off of Nicholas Taylor's time, which is a 42.9. Currently out there trying to improve, but I don't know, maybe Nicholas is not able to replicate what was already done earlier. He's currently matching, but it's just dropped to 10th, so slightly slower. Got a 10th from Lagavulin, which will be enough to jump up to P2 if can convert it all the way home, but there's still a fair bit of lap to go before we get to that point. 2/10 improvement now for him, so it's just dropped again. I think that little bump going out of turn 9 is causing him a problem. Look at the gain he's got! Never mind. I got excited, and he just ran off did the runoff area. No wonder he got 7/10 out of nowhere. Luke Francis, the only person who can improve now, is a 10th faster, but 10th won't be enough.
Not enough to go just on the fringes of getting in a position. So we'll see if he's able to hold it through the final sector.
Come on, Luke.
Yeah, Taylor, Francis he's in the money right now, but what a jump there from Taylor, just into the 42s, man.
Well, what could have been?
Oh,
he did it! Let's go.
3 thousandths of a second. Well done.
Go.
Luke Francis.
I mean, well done, Luke. Yeah. Totally keeping it.
Although
biased.
I do want to point out, you said that it was going to be P1, and I said it's not happening, and there's a half-second gap.
P1?
Half-second. Well, I said, I was voting Taylor for pole. You said Francis.
Oh,
you were wrong. You are the plum, and the only plums and horses.
You want to know something? I'm going to fess up here. So I remember now that the conversation started because I asked you for who's going to be on pole.
Yeah.
And then I forgot that I asked you partway through the conversation that who I asked who was going to be on pole. And thought that we were talking about who our favourite drivers were, which is why I then started talking about... I called you a simp and started talking about Luke Francis. So on me. I'll take that.
Well, hear that. Look, he had no faith in you for getting P1 today.
I mean, it's kind of like that. Yeah, all right, it's kind of like that. It wasn't meant like that, but I guess it's kind of like that. Hello, Singularfish says, "Can we just fast forward?" If only.
Yeah.
If only. I'm disgusted.
I'm throwing you under the bus saying that you had no faith in Luke getting P1, but I didn't either. I was like, no, Taylor's got this in the bag.
True. I mean, I love Luke, but I didn't even think he was going to get P2. Never mind P1, mate.
Yeah.
No happy car today. Is Vincey P Chris Vining?
I don't know.
Vincey P, are you Chris Vining?
I would imagine not. But yeah, Princey's got the happy car, doesn't he? Or is it? No, it's McFried, like, doesn't it?
Oh, no, I know what you mean. Sorry, Vincey P. You're on about the Honda. Yeah, I know, no happy car. Yeah, Bauer's not here today.
Is it Bauer that's got the happy car?
Yeah, the Honda. I miss the happy car. Cute little face.
Just have a cute little face. You know who else has a cute little face?
Oh, Jesus.
Our Raggy.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Welcome,
babe. Can I also point out, I think award for the dumbest looking face of any GT3 car has to go to the safety car.
Me there. I was I'll have the cute face. You can have the dumbest looking face.
The dumbest looking GT3 face has to be the Jag, right?
Oh, don't let Joe hear you say that. He will be sad boy. He jumps that Joe.
No, because the Jag IRL outside of the GT3 dumb face actually looks pretty damn good. But like, I just think the GT3 version looks really stupid. Look at it. What happened to the safety car's funky paint job? We had to remove all of the paint jobs because it was causing issues with like replays and stuff. It was really taking a lot of demand on the PCs. So Mullock made a decision of, look, let's just get rid of them so we can go back to having replays and stuff. And personally, I think it's the right call. I think they could probably have left the safety car one on. I think it needed it.
See, I'm just having a look. See the safety car? It's got the little the lights in the grille by the looks of things.
Yeah.
That makes it look like, I can't remember the name of the cartoon, but it's like a cartoon where like there's like basically the person's face is always in shadow, and it looked like all you can see is their two eyes like peering out of a helmet. Like
it just looks like flared nostrils to me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's why I think it looks so stupid. It just looks like an angry pig from Angry Birds. You know what I mean?
Mate, that's your fault for playing Angry Birds.
Well, no. Also, did you notice the safety car almost died at turn 7-8?
I mean, can you blame it?
Yeah, I can actually. Who's driving it today?
I don't actually know. I do not know.
I reckon it's Yusikaki.
Maybe?
I'm gonna blame him anyway. Alright. It's time to go here now, boys and girls. Nicholas Taylor getting pulled by, what was it, 4 and a bit tenths?
It was
from Luke Francis.
0.492.
Here's a question. Is this going to be Nicholas's most boring race ever? Or is it going to be a mistake city and then everyone else overtakes?
No, Taylor's going to have a nice boring race.
I think this is going to be...
I'll tell you what, Verts I think is going to really fight Francis hard.
I think this is going to be a massive fight for P2, 100%.
Yeah, Verts is going to be P2 by the end of Sector 1. And then I think Francis is going to fight back and take it back and finish P2.
Well, it's time to see who's got the bigger nads, because we're going for a big drive. Look at the 4 wide going on a bit further back there. That is Serity getting stuck in here. Going outside line on the grass now. Taking that runoff area to try and slow the car down, get a more wide angle going into the corner. Any collisions down the back? I think we're Gucci. A little bit of a touch there from one of the Ferraris. That looks like Max Trainer getting sandwiched by Christoph Holzer and the Aston there as well. Didn't see who that was, but no contact so far. Everything seems to be good. Wirtz, are you ahead? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. I am.
Right.
I am a prophet. That's what I'm saying.
What's your income like? Get it? Profit.
Good night, people. I will see you all next Thursday.
I apologise. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake there. Was that the two Porsches? Yes, it was. Got Tillett and Crawford. Crawford having a bit of a deep move. Going through now into don't touch, please don't kill each other. Keep it together. They're doing well together, side by side through there like that. That was quite difficult. Crawford actually, is he going to gain onto it? I think he is, you know?
I think yes.
He's got him. Watch out for Holzer.
Oh, yeah. Look at Black as well. He's managing to slide his way up there a little bit forward. He's now in a P5, but he just outbreaks himself and looks like an issue.
Back.
I don't know if that was collision. It looks like there was someone collided. I can't find out who.
I'm going to have a look at it now on the replay. So we can see Serity going for an inside line in towards turn 10, which is the hairpin. Very deep lunge from Black. And yeah, it just became a bump, bump, bump. Pinball effect. Larson again getting caught up in a situation that he didn't even start it. It was not really. I don't know who you'd point blame at on that one. It looked like a series of unfortunate events, but yeah, Serity has dropped like a stone. Where is Larson now then? He is currently sat P16.
Still dropping, yeah. He's 17th there. 18th, 19th. I think he's dead last. Yeah, he is dead last. That's unfortunate.
We got some Fs in the chat for him. Oh, we've got more cars going off as well. That's Tillett having a bit of a run-off into the run-off area. We do have a McLaren, after all. Cardoso.
Oh, Cardoso must have joined down very late.
Yeah, did, yeah. Alright, well, look. So, Taylor, Wirtz, Francis, Legalante, Anna Black, Silver, Lazelle. That's a good start-up 7 there. Crawford up in a P8 as well. I'll tell you something. I mean, what? You know what? No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to see him.
Go on. Say it.
I did. I will get the blame.
Yep, you will get the blame.
And I don't want it. I'm not saying it.
Yeah, the, P2, 3 and 4 look like this is going to be a nice, good scrap, but Taylor's already checked out. He's nearly 2 tenths in front, 2 seconds in front, so he's, already just showcasing some incredible speed. He just needs to keep that consistency, and it should be an easy afternoon for him unless Verps is able to find some extra pace and catch up to the back. But yeah, a great start there from Taylor and from Verps.
A beautiful move there from Topham going into turn 10. Nice little send down the inside, and then a bit of a side-by-side fight. And now Max Trainer's been caught napping, really. It's Lofson, Tillett get through. That's not the way to defend that position. Contact between the two of them. Tillett getting a bit of a clip on the rear end. Look at the car park that is being bodged up now. This is a chance for Larson to sort of close in a little bit. I mean, he's miles back, but you can see him just coming in. That's not the way. No, that's unfortunate. Serity, I think he got clipped. Let's have a quick look as we come through the final corner. And yep. Oh, that's so sad. That was Schelikens who just tickled the rear end of Serity, which then caused his car to snap. He went to catch it, but yeah, it snapped too hard and off he went into the wall. Big crash. Definitely going to need a trip to the pit lane if he doesn't retire. Yeah,
he's got the car pointing in the right direction, but obviously he's right just past the pit lane, so he's going to have to do an entire lap, see how it feels underneath him. But yeah, it's looking a bit snappy going into turn 1, so he might have a difficult lap on his hands until he can get in for those repairs.
I actually want to hear from the chat. I want to hear who is your favorite. Who are you rooting for? Chat. Give me one driver from each of you. Which driver are you rooting for in this race? Badger, are you rooting for Nicholas Taylor, or are you actually going to root for some based on personality or whatever? Just whatever your reasons are.
See, this is the thing. Like, if we see Shirley just in the wall there as well. And, Larson's nearly collected Shirley as they were trying to pick up speed again. Larson had to go off into the grass to avoid collection. But yeah, that could have been another moment for Larson that was just caught up in someone else's instant. But yeah, when I first heard about Taylor, I was I was supporting him because it's like, you know what, you're 16. I want you to do well. You know, you're
because
you're
Legalante,
young.
he's going for an attack here on Francis, going through turn 1. He's just about taking the outside line into it. He's going to have to take the runoff area. I think he should give that back now.
Yeah, I think he has to, and I think he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lit off a little bit, but now he's attacking straight again.
Oh.
Okay, but he's not. Well, Lagalante, he's backed out now.
Yeah.
Probably should have backed out a little bit earlier.
I mean, no harm done, right?
Yeah, no harm. If there's a little bit of a time loss now for Francis to Verts, though, which, you know, you could argue wouldn't have been there otherwise, but look how much Black's caught up to this fight now, actually, after that battle. So, yeah. Maybe you can argue that Lagalante was in the wrong quite a bit there. How much time they've lost. Black could be on for another couple of positions and get himself on the podium. Could be.
I think, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with what Lagalante did in the end. I think overall, the right, you know, good attempt. Fair play through turn 1. It was a good try. Just carried a bit too much going into turn 2. Just kind of forced him off into the runoff area, and then big problems. All right, I think there's enough chance for you to quickly tell me why what you were saying about Nicholas Taylor.
Yeah. So when I first heard about him when he was 16 and stuff, I was like, you know what, I really want him to do well because he's a young guy. You know, he'll grow, he'll get better and better and better. But as the races have went on, he's the real deal. You know, he's like super quick, super consistent, and overall, he actually looks like he's the best on field, like consistently. You know, it's not just like, oh, one track he's like really fast, the other track. It just seems he works his way through the pack well when he's having to start, you know, in the reverse grid. When he's out in front, he just disappears. He's got everything. So it's kind of boring to say that I'm hoping he wins this, because realistically, he's now at the point where we expect him to win it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas, like, you know, when we first heard about him, we'd never really seen much about him. So yes, I am supporting him because I still believe, you know, you should absolutely support and invest in young drivers. But that doesn't mean I want to see him win every single race. I want to see him be challenged, and people like Verts, who we've seen come along quite rapidly. You know, he's really pushed himself up to the front. I like seeing that. I want him to do well as well. And obviously, we both are big fans of Luke Francis. You know, he's a great guy, and yeah, I want to see him up there. But on top of that, I do want to see Saturday start doing business as well, because we know he's fast, and it just, again, like Larson, keeps getting caught up in some instance, and sometimes they're his fault, sometimes they're not. And you know, I just want to see him, like, you know, tighten his racecraft a little bit and just be up at the front running pack consistently. Yeah,
no, that's fair comment. I'm not disagreeing with you, and you know, also Robbins has said that Taylor's going to be in F4 next year with Fortec IRL.
Oh, damn!
Pretty damn cool.
That is awesome.
Kind of explains where the paces come from, I guess, because he's clearly doing a lot of IRL racing.
Taylor, I will definitely be watching out for you in F4.
You better remember he's only famous.
See if it gets to the point.
Lagalante, big send on to Luke Francis down the inside in turn 1. Fantastic, but a bit deep, and Luke is really not happy with that, flashing those lights to give him that message. But look what this has done to Adam Black. He's right here on the back of Luke's car as well. And a bit of a twitch there, just riding the curb a bit too much on the inside. I mean, I don't think there was anything wrong with Lagalante's send. It was, don't get me wrong, it took balls, and it did really rely on Luke not turning into the corner, but he got enough alongside in the braking zone. I think it's fair game. I think, I understand why Luke would be frustrated, but in my opinion, that you just got to do a little bit more to defend that.
Yeah. And Black's now looking like he's going to be attempting to be the next person to pass Francis. But yeah, how mental would it be if Taylor makes it all the way into F1 and you're watching
that would be crazy.
On a Sunday, and you'd be like, I used to commentate for that boy.
Yep. That would be mental. I don't think it'll happen. Not that I don't believe in Taylor, just that's not something that happens to people like us, right?
I mean, true, but it's not happening to us. We're just bystanders and watching his awesome.
True. I'll try and fix it now, CJ. Let me give it a quick look, see. It's saying it's struggling to connect to the server. which is why it's not working. All right, so I asked you guys to tell me some of the people you're simping for in this race. CJ's told me that Matt Lazelle is his dude. He's currently sat P7. Yeah, Lazelle's actually had some pretty good races in the last season, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's always kind of there or thereabouts, so picking up points consistently.
I'm just watching this fight as well for P12. They're really giving it some. Who else we got? Cardoso from Big Natty says because he's in a McLaren. Yeah, you can stay. I like you. Oh, look at this. Big send here from... So Max has got the pace down the straight line, and you also got Christoph also going down the inside as well on the Porsche. We saw a similar situation between Legalante and Luke Francis. The difference maker is this contact this time. What a catch from both of them. That looked like a synchronized slide. I mean, frustration for Christoph, I'm sure, but still, he needs to be proud of himself for that catch. That was good.
Yeah, both of them done really good to catch that. I don't think there was too much of a squeeze from Christoph also. You know, I did definitely try and keep Tillett pinned to the inside, but I think there was enough space. So again, just a little bit unfortunate there was contact. I don't think anyone will really get mad about that, and the stewards probably don't need to do anything about it. But yeah, that's was some good racing, and both a great catch from both of them.
Yeah, without a doubt. Okay, let's catch up again then on the chat. Kenneth Portis says Bauer, but he ain't here today. Sag. Yeah, big Sag. I like watching Bauer race. He's really, really good driver.
Yeah, he's always entertaining and exciting to see.
And then we go...
Hussein as well. Hussein has got, I think, some of the largest cojones on the grid.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I wouldn't disagree. I actually seen Hussein race. Was it last week we saw it? Was it racing last week? I don't recall seeing him.
Yeah, it was there. He was making some large break attempts.
Okay. Large stones plays.
Yes.
Big Natty, I believe in you. I believe in you. You get I've got a setup if you want it. I don't know if you like it or not, but you're welcome to use it. It's pretty stable. It allows you to be pretty aggressive with it. What else we got? Let's go Legalante. I sim for Legalante. He's a friend and my teammate in ACC. Where is Legalante? Oh, yeah, P3, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Legalante, really good driver. Really good driver. Hello, Viva. I sim for P20. I think we all sim for P20.
Yeah, I mean, less now because it just... After the makeover, it's just not as good a look, but you know.
You mean now that it's not got the livery on it, or are you in about...
No, now that it's not the Waka.
Oh.
OGs will remember.
Oh, jeez. That's what I said every time I looked at it. Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Look at it, it's awful.
Glorious is what you meant to say.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. I think I know the answer, Mr. Garrison.
I did that too well.
You did do that very
I even did the face to go with it. We couldn't progress though. I know you wanted to, and I wanted to say, the next line, but no.
Yeah, I'm not doing that one.
Let's not get them cancelled.
Yes.
I hope someone clips that. I really want to watch it back.
Yeah. We're sorry, guys.
I can't reset. Anyway.
Good times. Good times were had by us, at least. As we have a look at Omar, he's getting mighty close. He's going to attempt it round the outside. Doesn't make it stick.
He tried there. Good fan. Oh, it might. No, maybe get the cutback. Yeah, she getting that? No, maybe not.
Sorry, I need to wipe the tears on this.
JFC? What does that mean? Just fucking chill. Is that what it means?
Probably. Oh, Shirley making a very audacious attempt as well.
Brother, you can't. I'm serious.
I am serious.
Put the brownies. Put the brownies down, guys. Oh, Luke's had an issue. I'm gonna have a quick look at that replay because it looks like there was something. Oh, big slide. Yeah, that was going into the final chicane. Then, bit of a wobble. Didn't really lose too much, but lost enough for the Aston behind to become problem. It is a back marker, of course, but still.
Well, you say he's not lost too much, but Black's miles in front of him now.
I think maybe Luke has been pushing a bit too hard on these curbs and hit themselves a little bit hard, you know?
I didn't actually even see Luke losing the position to Black, but yeah, there we go.
Seriously dying, I think.
Yeah, Lagalante is miles off the back of Verts, and Verts is miles off the back of Taylor. Well, not miles, but he's off the back of Taylor, so...
Oh, Silver's in the pits. All right. Pit stop starting to... I mean, it's a bit too early, I think, to pit, right? We've only done 17 minutes of the race. There's still so much more to go, and you're tired. If you box now, like obviously Larson had no choice to, same for Cerity. Tillett looks like he's had to have a similar sort of situation as well. You know, this is... When you box this early, your tires are going to be absolutely dead towards the end of this race. So it's
possible. We've seen Brophy pit around the 40-minute mark, but again, that was because he'd had a big issue on the tyres. So it is possible, as we see Tillett actually off track and Verts nearly collecting him, but Tillett was just getting out of the way because he saw the leaders coming through. But he still was in a kind of weird position for it, as we see a 5-second penalty for car number 39, which is your boy. Go on.
Skeletons.
There we go. Little Mick. He's 5 seconds for collision. Just trying to see if I can find who that was with.
Are you watching the Discord stream, by the way? Oh.
Yes, I am.
Now, picture... Obviously, we know he's driving with a controller, right? It's very obvious here. But picture someone with a steering wheel, moving arms as fast as this. Watch as they go, because he's counter-correcting... Like, obviously, he's making a lot of adjustments per corner because of the fact he's driving with a controller. Doesn't really have much of a choice, but just imagine flicking your hands around as quick as this.
It's like watching martial artists.
Like, yeah. You need to be like a master at Wing Chun to be able to turn a Bentley around Catalonia.
But yes, I have the information. The collision was with Saturday. So that was obviously probably the one that we had down the straight.
And Cerity would be heartbroken to see it was only a 5. I mean, in fairness, I don't think he deserves any more than a 5. But, yeah.
If you're Cerity, you're still going to be feeling rough.
Oh.
Like,
he's got PTSD, without doubt. I would.
Yep. But, yeah, having a look through, other than our boy Christoph Holzer, there aren't many close fights at the moment. We've got Crawford and Cardoso that are pretty close and onto the back of Lozelle, but no one seems to be really trying to make any inroads and attack at the moment. So Holzer does look like he's the one that's going to potentially make the move or attempt the move first. Oh, you okay now?
It just keeps replaying in my head, and it's killing me off every time I hear it.
See, to be honest, I was really wanting to go down the thing, you know, when they're about to make the invasion, and it was the Bika moment of, you know, have you got the rope?
Have you got the what? What happened?
So he says, have you got the rope? Check. Have you got the fork or whatever? Check. It's like, have you got the butt for? What's a butt for? Oh, pooping silly.
That would have been a good one. I think we definitely went down the right one there, 100%.
Yes, definitely.
Even if no one else laughed, I couldn't stop.
What's that? It sounds like a dying giraffe over there.
What are you on about?
It's from the same film.
I don't remember it.
Oh, mate, you're missing out. Serenity being given 10 seconds as well, so he's...
Wait, for... I mean, obviously, there must have been something.
Collision with Cardoso at the start as well.
Oh.
So maybe that? I can't see any other collisions that he's had.
Unless it was maybe a penalty for voice comms. That could be something else.
True.
So I have raced with Serity in rookies, and I know that through passion, sometimes things have slipped. So there is a possibility that may have happened again.
As again, just keeping a look, we can see Trainer attempting to make the move, but he's actually messed it up, and that's allowed Christoph Holzer to attempt a move himself and get it done. Trainer has just lost the position when he went for an attack. So, yeah, backfired a little bit there, and it's coming up Millhouse for Christoph Holzer.
Just watching the replay of that now, because I did just miss it. But, oh, you know what? That was a beautiful move from Christoph there. That was really, really good going.
Yep. And we can see Cardoso and Crawford going side by side as well through turns 1 and 2. And Cardoso's just not able to get the move stuck, really, but he's sticking in there. He's keeping on the inside. He's going to go for it. Maybe we could just break nice and late. He will force Crawford round the outside, but that outside line is something you can do. But yeah, it looks like Crawford's just not able to get the traction that he needs, and Cardoso looks like he's made it stick now.
Yeah. I mean, of course, you know, being a McLaren driver is to be expected. But I'm also curious about this battle here for P10. So obviously, Loft's currently holding down that gatekeep to the top 10. And, you know, Christoph is just looking so good in this race. I don't know if... I mean, he did practice this track a lot for rookies. I do recall us being on track with him a fair bit. Which is good to see, obviously. And hopefully he'll keep a lot of that knowledge... Well, hopefully he kept a lot of that knowledge going into this. It looks like that's the case. And obviously he's learned a lot since that point as well. And you can tell by purely just on the way that he's attacking the circuit. So this is good. Bit wide there, though. Might have got himself a warning for that. Look at how much he's just straight lining. Is he going to go for a late break into turn 10? Maybe? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Loft's actually losing out. He gave way too much room there. That's how Christoph just slid on through. Really good move from Christoph. Read the situation. Loft just conceded. Just go. Don't want any of this. And up to top 10 now. Good job.
Yeah, doing a great job. It's obviously this week there is only the one race per split, so it's not like anyone's going to be getting any reverse grid poles or anything. You will need to make all your positions on track from where you start this time. So you'll want to be trying to move up as much as possible, but the gap between themselves and P9 is monstrous. It's about 13 seconds.
Yeah, it's a tough time. Lagalentis still holding it down up there. P3 is quite far back from Verts. I don't see a P2 coming available unless crazy pit stops or mistakes. Something along those lines would be needed in order to achieve that. That is obviously Tillet that is separating the two of them at the minute as well. A back marker.
Yep.
Shirley.
Yep. I'm just having a look to see if I can find out what that was for. Obviously, we saw Shirley in the wall earlier. The only other collision that Shirley has had this entire race was with Topham at the very, very start of the race. So I doubt it's for that. So again, maybe something that was said in comms, or maybe the way that they had rolled onto the track after the collision with the wall could be a penalty for that. Although it has been cleared now. Oh no, they're in the pits. That's why. Derp.
Dirt.
I'm smart.
Smarts. Okay. Let's have a look around then. So lap times for the leader, 44.1. Lap times for the two behind. So Vert's on a 44.9. Lagalante on a 44.6. No one is getting anywhere near Nicholas Taylor's lap times as it stands. And we are approaching the halfway marker. This is where the pit stops will start to come into effect. Just a stop go 30 for Shirley.
Oh, that's rough. That is very rough.
He'll get removed if Shirley and left. Okay.
Yeah.
Shirley went, that's enough. I'm out.
Yeah. That's not what you like to see, but yeah. That Shirley has decided that's enough for today.
Yeah.
Oh, Silva getting by Sereda there, but Sereda kind of got out the way from, it was a blue flag situation, but Sereda got out of the way in a weird way, and Silva actually had to snap to get by, which probably had a little bit of a squeaky brown time right there.
Who shot out?
A little bit, some pellets flying around that cockpit with him.
Lofts has lost a fair bit of pace, and actually Max Trainer now is starting to get a bit opportunistic, shall we say, seeing an opportunity arise, but hasn't yet snatched one away from him. So we'll see going in towards turn 10, because that is, we saw Christoph go for it there, and actually look, Max is seeing the exact same opportunity, gone for the exact same move, bit tighter though to the corner. This time Lofts doesn't quite give as much room as Christoph got, but end of the day, Max is still through and up to P11. So Luke Francis, the first out of the top front runners to get himself into the box, going for an undercut and a half here then. Does need to make sure that the stop is immediate. Do we get to see the car raise in the pit lane? That's a good question.
Let's have a look and see. One thing to note though is he did have a lot of time to make back up, so even if we don't get to see the car go up, but we didn't see it go back or forward, so I would say that's probably fine. He did have a lot of time to make up to the guys in front, so probably not going to jump them in the pits, but he might bring them closer.
Yeah, it's the lap time situation as well, obviously they got to think about how quick his pace has been, and he's not slow.
No.
Overall. We obviously can't judge it on the last lap because 52.8. Obviously, it's a run into the pit lane, doesn't count. So, last lap from the leaders. So, Verts has actually stepped up the game a fair bit, so has Lagalante to bring it closer. Nicholas Taylor actually dropped a fair bit too. So, he was doing 44.1 last time we looked at it. It's now 44.5. So, 44.6 from Verts and 44.7 from Lagalante. Pace is looking pretty good. Anybody catching anybody else? We have got Crawford slowly closing in on Cardoso. It was the 10th gain last lap.
Yeah, but he has lost the last kind of 2 laps. It was about a second and a half.
I'm just looking at pace differences between people, and it looks as though those that are faster are pretty much ahead. It's now going to come down to, at this point, pit stops. Tyre management, outlaps, I think, realistically.
Yeah, and as I said before the race, Black's improved so much, and it's good to see him fighting, right at the front right now. And he's coming in for his pit stop, and again, I don't think he's got anything to fear about getting out in front of, your boy Luke Francis, but it's still. It's still 30 minutes left of this race, so he's still got to fight. He's got to keep the consistency up, keep this pace up, and we know Francis is quick, so if Black drops off a little bit, Luke will absolutely start hunting him down.
Yep. So we just saw Carl Tillett lose a position to Larson, just ran a bit deep into turn 4, and that was how Larson just slid on through. Turn 5, sorry, not 4. Which is, good for Larson. He needed some sort of positivity coming into this. It does still have to bear in mind those tyres have to do the remainder of the race, which is going to be very difficult to still maintain that pace. Taking them to the end, that's not necessarily the problem. It's the fact of having to still keep pace with the people around you who are going to be on fresher tyres. You're obviously carrying more fuel load as well because, well, you had no choice initially. Boxed for so early on in the race due to the damage that you have to then take all of the race fuel on board, which doesn't help your tyres either. Once you get in that situation, you're asking for more pain. But more and more people are coming in now, so Lozelle and Cardoso are both into the pits. Lozelle obviously coming in first. Still yet to see our race leader, Nicholas Taylor, bring it in.
Yeah, but he's got 7-second lead right now, so He has caught up a little bit to some back markers here. I don't imagine he'll have particular issues getting by them. But yeah, maybe this is the point where he's just like, yeah, you know, there's a decent gap now. If I pit, I'll still mostly be in free air. He could come in this lap. He's not losing 7 seconds in the pits, so would be no danger if he comes in.
What's interesting is that I'm not actually that far off of Taylor's pace.
I mean, I don't think he's pushing right now.
I mean, in general, I've been watching lap times and they're really pretty close to what I was already doing on race fuel. Just he slaps me around in qualifying.
Hear this, Taylor? Get Raggy in an F4 car.
My time has come to shine. If only, eh?
Yeah, let's see. He's
in. Oh, Verts is in.
Yeah, so Verts has decided to come in. Again, the undercut's not going to be powerful enough to gain 7 seconds, but Taylor's quite happy doing what he's doing, so yeah.
Lagolante's in as well. Verts actually screwed up on the pit entry. Broke too early, and then was like, oops, I gotta go, and then accelerate again, and then broke again. So, yeah, lost.
Again, don't think he'll lose out.
No.
But, like, these are the things that you really want to, you know, fix in your game, because they add up. You know, these mistakes definitely add up, and when you are fighting for position, when it's, you know, only like a second or so between you and the other driver, like, you know, not completely landing in your pit, bang on your marks, and speeding in a little bit into the pit lane, you know, too slow into the pit lane, all of that time adds up, and you know that's what can cost you positions.
Yeah, 100%. More and more people coming into the pit lane. You got now Crawford's in, Topham's in, you've got Omar in, and Schelekens is in as well. So we'll save that 5-second penalty in the pit stop as well. So we'll close the gap up a little bit to wherever he was previously fighting, which I think was kind of Tillet's area. Lassen putting in some pace now, chucking in much faster lap times than before. Obviously, bear in mind, still on those very worn tyres. Might even stubbornness and a little bit of damage depending. And a heavy amount of fuel though. So 45.2s is where he's currently sat. 27 minutes to go.
Yep, 27 minutes, and still a couple drivers not came in, as in Lofts even, and Taylor. Still happily, merrily going around, not caring the world, just driving.
Wow.
I think this lap Taylor needs to come in just because he's catching up to a fair train of back markers. So come in, get rid of your old boots, stick on some shiny new boots, get yourself back in clear air, which there will be plenty of it by the time he gets out of the pits. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Silver is the car ahead of him, which is his teammate IRL. Not IRL, sorry. Well, yeah, it's IRL, whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll not complain and hop out of the way pretty quickly.
Yeah. You know, these guys all see the talent of Taylor as well, you know, from very young age. Got them involved in their team, and I think I read last week that they're doing like an endurance race, and they were just like, yeah, like none of the rest of us are bothering to practice qualifying because Taylor is obviously doing the qualifying. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the same in R&E with when Daniel Sommer was in our team. Yeah. It's basically, we're not even going to bother practicing quality. There's no point. Let him do it. We'll just practice on being consistent to not let him down. Like honestly, it was when it was me, Joe, Yolta, and Daniel. It was literally just a case of me and Joe would practice to make sure we didn't bin the car, and they would practice to be super fast. So we would just hold out as much as we could to hand them the car, so they could then get in the places.
I didn't break your car for you, sir. As we see Taylor in the pits, as we thought he would. Get himself into that nice chunk of free air.
Crawford is single-handedly dismantling CRN. Taking on 2 Astons. Getting bullied here, though. Silver is going to go for a move down the inside in towards turn 4. Beautiful little cheeky send there. Oh, it's got it done. Graston's one Porsche. Is he going to retaliate? He's looking like he might go for a send.
Oh, yes.
Oh, a bit of contact.
Bit of contact there, but that was what we like to see, nice and feisty. A little bit of the flashing lights there from Silva. You know, I can totally understand the frustration.
Yeah, that's sad times.
Well, the cough or the move?
Both. I had a sip of my Coke and it tickled my throat, and then I had a cough to go with it.
Yeah, just Taylor pitted in first and came out in first. That's, you know.
But he's not just come out in first. Look at the gap.
Yeah, came out miles in first, like 10 seconds clear.
The delta says 70.2. Obviously, that's not accurate.
Yeah, that'll
still.
update in literally, you know, a couple of turns. Now?
Well, it's waiting for him to get to sector 1.
Yeah, we're looking about 9.5, 10 seconds. So
I'm going 12.
9.1. Right. Close. It's close.
Miles off I was.
Yeah.
I'll go for 12. Yeah. 9.1.
But yeah, it just shows the class, and I'm kind of both excited and disappointed that we found out that he's going to AF4, because I thought, you know, they were like, oh, look at this raw rare talent that we've discovered in here, and it's like, oh no, someone else discovered him. Okay, we're good.
God damn it. But I'm kind of glad though, because it means at least the talent is being noticed and appreciated, you know? You know what Topham's 10 seconds is for?
I've had a look. I can't see any collision with anyone since like lap 1, so I doubt it's for. Yeah, it's probably for, like, you know, track limits or something. But I can't see any collision, so I don't know.
It won't be track limits, because if it was track limits, it's an insta drive through, which we would have seen. Probably because he told the stewards to do one. I genuinely don't know. No idea.
It was confirmed here first. The stewards were told to do one.
Hey mates, do one, mate. It must have been contact. 10 seconds is usually a contact penalty.
Yeah. So there was two collisions in the same minute, basically right at the start of the race, and with Trainer. But that was like 40 minutes ago. So, you know, I would have thought that it would have been looked at by now. So I don't know why he's just been given the 10 seconds. Can't find anything on it.
I wonder who the stewards are today.
I wonder indeed.
Oh, it's Haig. It's going to be Haig. Let me ping him. Wait, is that right? Yeah.
I don't know. Just ping people anyway.
Oh, here's the steward.
Give us answers.
I don't know. He's working. I'm not going to distract him. Stop being a steward for a minute and just tell me what the penalty's for.
To be fair, that's also a role of a steward, you know, information dumping.
True.
But yeah, just having a look. Omar getting nice and close. Looking like he's going to be sizing a move up shortly. On Larson, who again has been caught up in incidents that weren't really his fault. Around the field, Silver, Crawford, you know, they're looking like they're getting spicy still. Silver's probably still a little bit miffed.
Livid. I think this is Crawford's best result this season, right? Isn't it?
Off the top of my head, yeah, I think so.
Well,
I also think.
Still having a little look down the inside of Crawford there for a second. If Crawford made even the slightest boo-boo, Silver was absolutely going for it there. And I think, to be honest, if the exit is clean, no, which it isn't, Silver needs to be careful. If he keeps doing that, he's going to end up with a penalty.
Cardoso as well. He's on the charge right now, so he is much faster than the guys in front of him. So fully expect he's going to attempt to take these guys.
McLaren up here, remember?
Just having a look. I think this is definitely Black's best result.
Oh, do you remember when Black was in the Merc?
Yes.
It was like a completely different driver to what we're seeing this season.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think this is both Bentleys are in the highest position they've had all season.
Wow,
I say both. Christoph Holzer as well. I don't know if Christoph and I can't think of Big Friedlich's highest. I think he's definitely
he got
been
podium, didn't he?
He's definitely been
McLaren
up there.
Season.
Yeah. No, but I mean this season.
Well, this
season only.
Yeah, it's not quite been as. See, here's what's weird, right? Last season we saw Christoph Holzer, I would say, have probably the best season out of the two that he's had. That he's had so far. I would say last season was his best season. The only difference is the caliber of drivers has improved now for the season than it was last, both in pace and I would also argue in racecraft. But in terms of his own drive, he says he feels much better in the Bentley, and he says he feels faster in the Bentley. But I would agree with him.
I would agree with him. I think as you say, the caliber of driver now is much higher than it was last season, and he's still there or thereabouts from where he was last season, which obviously means that he's improved. So I think he definitely. I think he had more squeaky bum time moments last season as well. So he seems to have a much better handle on the Bentley, like control-wise. And it still blows my mind how good his control and how fine it is while driving on a controller. Like, it's insane.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
100, baby.
10-second penalty. Oh, Cardoso closed up to the back of Silva now and actually getting the lights flashing. I don't think that was anything more than trying to put the driver off. I don't know if it was just the twinkle that I saw, but it looked like a flash to me. I actually want to go on. I want to go in cockpit cam for this because this is going to be a fight and a half. This is what you want to see. Cardoso with good pace in a great car. It sounds good. It looks good. Late break. That's late. Alright, he's not going for it. The rotation he's got in that car is so good. Look at it. And the slides. Oh, how is he holding that around there like that? Well,
he's definitely got the pace. He's looking like he's just sniffing, and there he goes. This is his moment. Obviously, Silva will have the toe as well, which will absolutely help him try and keep Cardoso back. But with such the pace of the car, I wouldn't be surprised to see a moment going into I don't know, probably if we say turn 4 or maybe turn 5.
Well, the turn 3 here is actually so good for the both the Porsche and the McLaren. But the McLaren, if you do it right, can honestly gain so much time out of that corner. He needs to get past these guys pretty quickly. He's been held up hard, and mistakes are being made up ahead as well. You just seen the wobble from Alex Crawford. I don't know if he just broke a little bit too late, but I'm going to look down the inside. Oh my word, that's going to come into a big crash there. Silva just about dodging him. There's contact between Cardoso and Crawford, and they're still going. There's now a complete rotation. I think, I mean, I'll let the stewards make the proper decision. In my opinion, I think Cardoso was a bit naughty there.
I think he was. Initially, he was trying to capitalise on the mistakes that were made, and then Crawford managed to hold the position, but Cardoso at that point should have probably let off the accelerator a bit, being like, well, Crawford's managed to recover, and there's not a gap. He didn't. He kept the foot pinned and just pit maneuvered Crawford. So I expect a penalty coming his way now.
Yeah. I saw Silva giving the. Was it Silva or maybe Topham?
It was Silva.
Giving the flash as well. I mean, Silver's... So the insert between Silver and Crawford looked to be just a bit of an oopsie in the late break, and that kind of sent it into Crawford. Good dodge from Crawford to kind of see that coming and avoid it. But yeah, I mean, the issue then, it was just... Yeah, we've already talked about that. Is what it is. Moving on.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, to be fair, if Silva also gets a penalty. So, you know, he's flashing the lights because he was like, here, you absolutely made a mistake there with Crawford. But let's be real, Silva, you've probably got a penalty coming your way too.
Yeah, yeah. Although I might avoid it if, based on the fact that Crawford avoided it quite heavily. But the whole thing
was still contact made, to be fair.
Yeah. Maybe. We'll see. See what comes up.
Yep. Well, obviously, we are not stewards. Our word means absolutely jack all. So we'll leave it to them.
Let them do the do. The McLaren looks so good there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You know, right now, he's realistically the only battle on track. So what Cardoso needs right now is to get in front and then build up some gap, because I think he knows. Yeah, I think he knows there's something coming his way, and he might contest it later, as we do indeed see 5 seconds penalty added on for Cardoso. So
it's a 10.
Make that a 10-second penalty. Yeah. So at 13 minutes, I highly doubt he's going to build up a 10-second gap. But you know,
well, he's got that.
He's got to try, and he's making them work for this position.
I don't think Silva's going to get a penalty, you know?
Yeah, maybe not. But the good thing, Cardoso, is he's now on equal penalties with Topham. So, yeah, he just needs to get the position on track, and then he's at least gaining 1 position on him. But, yeah, that's... Well,
Crawford should still gain 2 places back at least, so we'll be getting the P10. Providing that the gaps stay as they are. And with the fighting that we're seeing between these two, I mean, they're effectively fighting for nothing, really, because, well, they are to an extent, because they're still going to gain points regardless. It's just the fact that, you know, they've got a massive 10-second penalty each. So if they continue like this, it's just going to make it worse for them. They'll find themselves dropping further down the order, and then people like Larson, for example, who has had a really rough race, will also start to capitalise on that as well. Even gents swapping to Crawford. Hey, Princey, you've literally just missed it, but basically just got pit maneuvered, effectively.
Yeah.
Was P8, pit maneuvered, and then, yeah. You should be here, then, mate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
oh, that's a snap. Cardoso! Oh, my word, what a catch.
And Silva will be laughing his ass off right now.
LMFAO. But the thing is, we're seeing the pace difference between the two of them. It was Cardoso favoured, but the more this continues, because now Cardoso is going to be more frustrated than ever before. Oh my word! Yeah, you can see
another snap. Yeah,
just how much power he's trying to put down to get as good, you know, optimizing as many exits as possible and getting that extra little bit. But yeah, Top's 10-second penalty is for pit entry. 85 kilometers when rear axle was on the line. That's pretty quick, isn't it?
That's pretty quick. I mean, to be fair, lucky didn't get the full drive through, so obviously that stewards take these things into consideration, give a little bit of leeway. But yeah, that's in the rookie series you get a lot more leeway. In the sprint series it's much more here. You stop that.
Here you. Here.
Stop it.
Oi. Ow. We have all the knowledge. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, thank you. I was confused for a second there. Yes, that's good. That's good news. Thank you for clarifying that for us. Who did you bribe for that? The after work meal with new colleagues at work, so couldn't really miss it. Oh, well, as long as you enjoy yourself, mate. That's the bit that matters.
That's good.
What did you have? What
new
food?
colleagues as well, so congratulations on the new job.
Yeah, congrats. But more importantly, what food did you have?
There are correct answers and wrong answers to this question, so you know.
What did you have for tea tonight?
I technically didn't have tea, but what I did do is, because I had nothing in the house and I wasn't intending on working from home today, but I kind of had to because of issues in the house. So I ended up ordering like a midday Domino's, and it was delivered by the cutest little old lady. She was like 4 foot tall, must have been about 100 years old. And honestly, she was like, you could see her big wide smile from underneath her mask. And I was just like, I want to adopt you. Can you be my grandmother? Like, glorious.
When it's all over Glasgow's newspapers saying 100-year-old delivery driver for Domino's has gone missing, we know exactly where to look.
I mean, no, you don't, because for the 1000th time, I have never lived in Glasgow.
You live on the edge of.
I do not live on the edge of Glasgow.
Yes,
I have never lived on the edge of Glasgow. I worked on the edge of Glasgow. I have.
It's all the same in Scotland, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Nah.
It's all the same.
I live in a completely different city.
Yeah, it's all the same. You Scottish? Ah, you come from Glasgow.
See, this is why no one likes the English.
That's racist. But also, Robbins, I'm with you there, mate. With all the knowledge, he says that Fight Club is good.
Oh, Robbins. I mean,
he's right. Can I just say?
No.
I mean, yeah. Was a buffet style that focused on the Thai and Chinese food? Oh, the kind of like the World Buffet kind of thing. Is World Buffet like a global, a UK national thing, or is it just a Red Hot Buffet maybe?
It's a world thing.
World thing.
You got that world thing.
I went to a place called Red Hot Buffet for my 16? A birthday, and it was amazing. There's all sorts of
one of those times when you were, feeling the aging effects.
Yeah. All right, Silva is definitely getting pressured now by Cardoso. We saw that earlier. Who was definitely not afraid of going for any sort of yeets.
Yep. And Christoph Holzer was rocked up onto the scene as well.
He's going to get into freebies out of this as well due to the...
Yep.
Well, I mean, let's paint a scenario, right? Let's say Cardoso goes for another yeetus, has contact with the Aston ahead. McFreely slips on by, gains 3 places.
Yep.
Panda Mammy. No, I've never heard of that one.
Sounds like pandemonium. It sounds like the type of place that a furry would go.
A furry. I had to explain to my girlfriend what a furry was the other day.
Oh no! Why? That's not something you ever have to explain.
All I'm saying is we have a tail on order. JK.
It's 3.
7, 1 for each day of the week.
Oh baby. What's your Sunday tail look like?
Brown.
Oh baby. Help me, Jesus.
I went for Cardoso to close in on Silva, but I think the tyres are just about done. I don't really think that Cardoso has any sort of...
I think he's also in this position where he's just like, fighting all of this is pointless. I can gain 1 position and can lose a lot more.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only place they can gain is on top of him, and that's if he passes Silva first, which...
Yep. So it's, I think he's just got to the point where it's just like, nah, I'm just going to not cost us time.
Take it. Like I already have to. I really hope Larson can close into this gap and get in that 10-second margin. I mean, he's not that far away, but he is just a bit too far away at the minute.
Yeah, but you know who's about to drop out of the 10-second margin is Crawford. He's been slowly falling back. And, I mean, right now, with the time left, it's going to be right on the cusp of 10 seconds if he continues losing at the pace he's been losing at.
Well, that's just for Cardoso's, because he was within range of Topham's at one point as well, but now he's not.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's on the cusp of Topham's as it stands. So it is going to be like, crossing the line. So if these guys start fighting, it's like Cardoso is now attempting to make the move on Silva again. Into the braking zone, making Silva go around the outside. Topham's made a mistake, and now he's going to get a twofer.
Wow. A twofer. We take them. Easy slaps. The thing is, like, the more this fight keeps going on, the better this is for Crawford. He's getting right back into it again, so... great stuff for them, I guess, at least, but Topham's losing out now to Cardoso. I mean, they're both going to lose out regardless, but there needs to be a team chat between these guys, I think, and work out how they're going to play this one out. I think Topham needs to let Silva go.
Yeah, I think so, because right now it looks like Christoph Holzer's about to try and make short work of Silva. So, yeah, Silva could be losing a position because of all this. Yeah, as Christoph Holzer attempts the cutback, it's not quite got the acceleration to make it stick, but he is all over that rear wing. What a drive from Christoph Holzer.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, he's got a effectively finished P8, and that's if he doesn't gain silver. If he gains silver, this is P7. So, yeah, Silva definitely knows the pain and pressure that's on him right now, but at the same time, like, this is where... I mean, obviously we don't want to see team orders, but if you're going to be a team and you want to do it, then you kind of need to figure this one out ASAP.
Yeah, this is definitely something that realistically you just need to let your teammate go now, because he's under pressure. He's under so much pressure. And to be honest, that mistake from Topham is what started the whole battle between Cardoso anyway, as we just see another little bit of a snap, and Christoph Holzer attempting to try and get his nose in there. Not quite able to make it in, but this is a great battle.
This is where you want to end your race, though, isn't it? Something juicy like this. I mean, we've got a nice little train of cars as well, just a little bit further back from Lofts onwards. Crawford onwards. But Crawford's actually closed in so much on this. I think it might actually be in range. He's definitely in range of Topham.
He is currently exactly 10 seconds behind Cardoso.
So, could be still gaining 2 places. It's going to require a little bit more pace. Or mistakes from the guys ahead of him. Or is he helping Matt by not run a defense line to try again on Crawford? Yeah. I guess so. Ooh, mistake made there. Yep. Christoph going to go around the outside. It's going to be so tight and difficult to make. He's going to try it anyway. Almost has contact between the two of them, but they're still keeping it together.
Yes.
Literally wheel to wheel. Is Christoph going to get it through? He had a bit of a wobble there, and that's late braking needed in order to try and send it down the inside. Still alongside of each other coming into the awkward chicane now. This is not waiting. Wow, Christoph. What a move.
What a move.
What an absolute send from Christoph.
That is some of the best driving I've seen him do. And he's doing that on a controller. How do you have such precise movements on a controller? My man. Dude.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
That is highlight reel material. Well done. Take a bow. Fantastic.
I was literally
hold it for 2 minutes.
Yeah. I was literally about to use the words. I think he loses this in the next corner because that line isn't favored for him at all. And then, yeah, I'm glad I didn't get a chance to say that because wow, that was really good to see. Lead us now on the final lap. So will be
1.5 for Christoph Holzer to maintain this off Silva. Just needs to keep his composure. I'm sure his heart will be pumping out of his chest right now.
Oh, 100%.
But you know, regardless of whether he keeps this position or not, what an absolutely sensational drive. Take a bow.
Yeah. He's still going to gain 2 more places. That's a P7 in his pocket right now.
Yep. And Crawford is currently 0.6 of a second out of Cardoso's window. So he needs to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah. Still get 1 freebie. But, you know, you ideally want to gain on the car that put you down there in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be the ideal scenario.
Hello, Linton. Good evening, or good morning for you. Very early morning for you, isn't it? Time to call this then.
I'm so... It makes me so happy just to see Christoph Holzer doing so well.
Did you get a tingle?
I did. I got a tingle. The Peter tingle. It's only going to make sense to people who have seen the latest Spider-Man stuff.
I have seen it.
Good.
Because I got bullied into watching it.
Less good. You should have been doing the bullying. Yeah, I'm having a look. There's a couple of guys getting close. Francis has eventually managed to get nice and close. As we see Taylor cross the line, I just had a gunshot and shit myself. Yeah, Francis has potential to look onto black.
All right. Let's have a look then. As you can see, the gap is very close between them. This is the last-ditch attempt now, realistically.
Oh, he's pushed him off as well. Well, I don't see pushed.
Oh! Has that run out of fuel? Oh, no, he just made a mistake.
I think he's letting him by because he was like, that was my fault.
On me.
Yeah. Which is good. You know, good sportsmanship. He's finishes P5, which, you know, is still, I think, his best result. He could have held on for P4. Just Francis, you know, he had a really good, basically final lap was all over the back of him. Forced Black into a mistake, but that's something that Black can learn from in future.
It definitely can. Cardoso is about to cross the line, and so is Topham. So Cardoso comes across first. Did well to build as much of a gap as possible. I think it has covered himself off from Crawford, but will still drop to sort of P10 territory, or P9 at least. Topham came in then, so Christoph Holzer, then Silver, Crawford, Lofts, then Trainer, Larson there behind as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Topham dropped. Cardoso sits P9 at the end of it. Topham dropped to P13.
Yep.
Ooh.
But Cardoso just managed to build up enough of a buffer there to stay in front of Crawford. So yeah, well done to him. But Crawford will probably be feeling a bit annoyed at that.
Let's get the official rundown then. So obviously Nicholas Taylor took the win by 20.6 seconds. Verts P2. Go on.
Just such a incredible pace that he's got. Because Verts was not slow through that race at all.
Oh, no, not at all. Verts, yeah, P2, Lagalente P3, Luke Francis getting that position for P4, Adam Black P5, Lizelle P6, Christoph Holzer with a juicy P7, Silver P8, Cardoso P9, Crawford P10, Lofts P11, Trainer P12, Topham 13th, Larson recovering to 14th, Omar 15th, Tillett 16th, Schelikens in 17th, Seredy 18th, and Shirley, the only proper DNFer, in 19th place. Alright then, that is it for the European Sprint Series here today in Barcelona. We're back next week, but I actually don't know where we are next week. Do you know where we are?
That'd be a nice surprise. I never know. I just rock up to the airport and be like, there was a ticket waiting for me behind the desk. Tell me where I'm going.
Just close my eyes. I don't want to see it. Just hand it in. Yeah, but the NA split will be live in literally a couple of hours, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please do so. It's free of charge, doesn't cost you a thing, and makes a world of difference to the Octane Online Racing guys. Also, click the thumbs up as well, helps the algorithm, and, you know, why not? Again, also free. So, enjoy your evening, sleep tight, don't let bed bugs bite, and see you in a week. Love you to bye.
Love you to bye.